I am live. How about that? This is the second time I've tried this. The first time I tried it, just didn't. Maybe one of the accommodation guests was on the internet. But apparently they've gone out to a wedding, and now I'm live streaming. So if you're out there, join in. It is a toasty afternoon here on Salt Spring Island. Current time is 4:22 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll wait till you guys join in so then we can chat on the live stream podcast / palmcast. Been doing a lot of watering. It's currently 32 degrees Celsius with a humidity level of 52%, which kind of sucks because I can feel the humidity right now at 52%. It's usually lower. Got the patio umbrella up, and like I say, it's a pretty toasty day. Anyway, guys, I hope you're having a good weekend. It's a long weekend here in this part of Canada. And as much as I love summer, don't get me wrong, I love the heat. I also look forward to the downtime in the fall when we get our rain and I can roll up the hose and relax. So, but you know what? It's so much better being retired because I can water in the morning now. I don't have to water when I get home from work. It makes it that much better. I think I'm going to have to move that umbrella. Hang on, guys. Let me move this umbrella here. There. Oh, man. It is cooking out here. And you know what? The humidity makes it feel worse. And I don't know what you guys do with that 80-90% humidity. I couldn't imagine sweating to death. Anyway, the garden's growing like crazy. It's like a jungle out there. And really nice news. The Phoenix down there that I put the bucket on is the spear's out about this much now. So it is growing. It's alive and well. It's funny, eh? Phoenix survives. And there's Hippie Chick right there. Come here, Hippie Chick. There's my 70s chick right there. She looks beauty. Come over here. I like her dress. Come here. Come here. You're not a mess. Come here. Come here.
I'm always working. Oh my God, I'm in the sun.
Well, come over here.
Yeah, it's hot.
Come over here for a second.
You know what? I'm getting my eraser because I'm doing art out there. You come visit me.
I can. I'm doing a live stream. She's doing art in the garden. Hello, DTS1. I know that must mean that stands for something. Hey, babe, can you grab me a cold? You know what? I should be drinking water. I shouldn't have beer. It's actually bad to drink beer on a hot day like this because it doesn't really quench your thirst. I think it's a diuretic like coffee. It just kind of goes right through you. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good weekend. It's a long weekend here in Canada. Monday's a holiday. It's BC Day. But it doesn't really matter to me because I'm retired. I've been doing a lot of work for people. And it's been good because I can pick and choose what I want to do. And most of the time, it's like 2.5 to 3 hours work, and I get it done really fast. I did a job the other day for somebody on a south slope, and they wanted the broom removed and the blackberries, but all the sword ferns left and the foxglove. So I did it, man. I did it in 2.5 hours, and man, was it hot. I got there first thing in the morning, 8:30. I thought I could beat the heat. Unfortunately, it was a south slope, and that's where the sun was hitting. Right where I was working, man, it was just freaking cooking. I don't think I've ever sweat so much in my life. And it takes a lot for me to sweat. So anyway, I got it done in 2.5 hours. And then a day before that, I was at a lady's place and I weed eated 3/4 of an acre of high grass. I got that done pretty quick too. Was it 2 hours or 2.5 hours? And then I did another one before that. And then I got another one to do next week. And then I got some wood splitting to do. So I'm keeping busy. It's so dry. Yeah, it's very dry here too. Very dry. Forest fire season is high. We could be extreme right now. So no fires are permitted anywhere. We don't even want the accommodation guests using the barbecue because if you had a barbecue fire and all it takes is a spark or something to get up into the trees and then we're hoopered, man. So it's just not worth it. So it is very dry here too. And I've been doing, like I say, a lot of watering. But the garden looks really good. All the yuccas are blooming right now. They look pretty amazing. One of our abutulons, the big 15-foot one's done. But we have one called Hot Lava. And it's blooming right now. It's got orange flowers on it. I did put on a video. Love this lady. You know our anniversary's coming up, guys?
Yes.
Cheers. Come here. Cheers and beers.
Are you coming outside?
I got a date with her tonight. I like having a date with my wife. It's good when you're married to stay on top of the dates, okay?
Steak and lobster.
Stay on top of the. Come here. Come here for a second.
Taking me for steak and lobster.
I am.
Yeah, you are.
I
That's
took you
what
for
said.
I took her for a smoothie today. I took her for a Bahama Mama. Is it a Bahama Mama? I took her for. I am. Our anniversary is November 30th. We got a long way to go. It's only 6 years. We're newlyweds. Not nearly dead, newlywed. But the last time I was married for over 26 years, right? So long time. Been married for, this is my second time around. I think I'm done. Hopefully this one lasts till the end, right? Better. Marriage is a good thing, especially if it lasts. Anyway, this time of the year, we really don't see much in the way of precipitation. So, but you know what I did do? A few weeks back, I dug a hole in the back 40 down in the ravine, but about 30 feet in from the creek, and it's full of water. It's just, I must have hit a spring or something. I wanted to go deeper, but I can't. It's full of water. So I'm going to have to bail the water out and try to go a little bit deeper. I just want to have a dug well down there in case something happens with the power, will allow us to have water supply. So in the deep ravine, which is probably about 100 feet down, there's a high water table, which is awesome. Oh, cheers to you guys. Anyway, I hope your gardens are growing well. And like I say, it's dry, so keep them watered. I know a lot of you guys are in a lot drier areas than this. This here, our summer months are very dry. Fall and winter, very wet. And the spring this year was cool and wet, wetter than usual, which was a good thing. The garden absolutely loved it. I can't believe how good everything looks. Like I say, the only palms we lost this year in that cold snap, which was shocking, the Jubea, which wasn't that big. It was a small Jubea. Jubea lost one mule palm, which was a small one. Pear Jubea, it's toast, the one that my buddy bought me, but I do have another one in the greenhouse. Phoenix canariensis makes it. It's just a surprise sometimes, the ones that die and the one that should have died, and it made it. So CIDP made it. We have quite a few date palms. The other ones are in big pots, and we got one in the ground. So I'm going to do the same thing with it. This winter, I'm going to put a nursery bucket over top of it, and hope for the best. Fingers crossed. I thought it would have been totally dead, and it's growing, man. That's exciting. So who knows? Maybe I got a hardy date palm, right? Anyway, Wendy's over in the courtyard doing some artwork. She's painting a hummingbird. She likes hummingbirds. So anyway, DTS1, keep that garden watered. Keep those plants alive, right? The things on the deck here really dry out fast. Like, show you. Let me spin this around. Lots of plants on the sun deck. And there's a self-seeded tomato over there, and it's just thriving. But you know what? It's kind of funny. It's only got flowers on it, no tomatoes yet. So I don't know what's going to happen with it, if it's going to actually get tomatoes on it. Hot. Hot, hot, hot. Even in the shade, it's hot. It's 32 in the shade right now. So Tuesday, Wendy and I are heading over to the Big Island. I think it's Tuesday. Maybe it's Wednesday. We're going for a bike ride. We're going to go for a bicycle ride, not a motorcycle ride. We're going to go for a bicycle ride. And what they've done, I think I've told you guys this before, and she hasn't been on this ride yet. We're going to go to Cowichan Lake. And in Cowichan Lake, anyway, there's a railroad on the Big Island, Vancouver Island. And some parts of the railroad, they've actually ripped up and turned into bike paths. So it's nice and level. So Wendy's got an e-bike. I got the old school pedal bike, and I've done it before. And we're going to go bike riding. Foodie Phil, his wife Kathy, Wendy, and I are going bike riding. So we're going to get over on the ferry, meet them over there, and drive to Cowichan Lake, which is a 30-minute drive from the ferry, something like that. Oh, that's good. You know what? It's the only time I can really handle beers when it's hot. Hot, 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 hot. So this is Caribou beer, and it's brewed in Prince George. That's where White with Dreamy Eyes lives. So, product of Canada, Prince George, BC, right there. Oh, that's good. You know, on the Canadian quarter, there's a Caribou quarter. One day they'll probably do away with paper money and coins. I think they want to bring in that digital currency nonsense. And I don't have an iPhone, so it ain't going to work with me. Just like the Rivecan app bull crap, that don't work with me neither. I'm not going to ever comply to that stuff. So I don't have an iPhone, not going to work. And I like using real money. I don't know about you guys, but I like the feel of real money. Anyway, somebody was asking me the other day, it was somebody on the mainland, I think it might have been a message. He said, "How are all your Trachycarpus palms doing?" None of our Trachycarpus palms got damaged in the cold. They've never been damaged here in cold weather. Our Trachycarpus palm trees are totally fine. You know, it did take a hit though, and it still looks good, but the center spear is gone as the Butia palm. So Butia capitata is a short-term palm in our garden. That is the last Butia palm I will ever grow in our garden. I will not be growing any more Butia palms. I'm not into protecting things. I don't want to fuss over plants. You know, I look at Hal and Michelle's garden. It's amazing. Hal's saloon. He did not protect his bananas. No protection, no wrapping. They froze down in late December. We had 1 week of really bad freeze here. So he's got a freaking banana jungle. He's got more bananas now than he did pre-freeze. Okay, so 1 week of bad freeze, late December, and he's got bananas growing like stinking weeds. Now, Hal knows how to grow bananas. And the key is, and he does it right, he knows how to do things properly. He got a little excavator, and he dug out that rocky, crappy soil, and he filled it up with the best soil you could possibly get your hands on, like black gold, right? And that's the key, a $5 hole for a $1 plant. And we were over there the other day, and I could not believe how many flipping bananas these people have. And they're getting big. I mean, okay, remember, these froze to the ground, and they're going to be taller than the saloon by, I bet you in another few weeks, they'll be up over the saloon. That's how big and how fast they've grown. He really doesn't need to protect them. Musabaju are pretty much indestructible if you look after them too. So he waters them, he fertilizes them. Ours are so neglected and so stressed, and there's so much root competition. I got timber bamboo grown by it and palms, and there's some big trees around. So I think I'm pretty much going to be giving up on bananas. I'm not going to do anything with them. I got some coming up, but I haven't watered them once. There's been no water given to them, so they're very stressed. And the soil's just kind of depleted. So if they want to grow big, they'll grow big, but they're on their own. We'll never, ever fuss over the bananas again. No more wrapping them. That cold snap did definitely weed out the wimpy plants. Now, another good thing is in the nursery, and I water the nursery every couple of days, the palm trees. It's amazing how well our Trachycarpus palms did. The potted palms are absolutely thriving. And you think, you know, potted palms are much less cold hardy, and there's so much more of a chance of them freezing solid, and yet they all did very, very well. And didn't even mulch them all. Only mulched some of them. A lot of them didn't get mulched, so I'm surprised that they're still alive and kicking. You know what? I find the heat makes me tired. I don't know about you guys, but heat makes me really sleepy. And probably the 5.5% alcohol and that stuff too. That's the problem. If you're drinking this stuff on an empty stomach, you know, it's one way for it to go to your head faster, drinking a wobbly pop. Probably better to do it on a full stomach. But I did have a good burrito earlier on, but maybe not enough. You know what? It's beautiful blue. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's dead calm. And like I say, this time of the year actually does worry me. With careless campers in the forest and forest fires. Port Alberni, yeah, we got 32 here. First name last. 30 degrees. Yeah, it's 32 degrees Celsius here currently and 52% humidity. It's pretty toasty. I'm amazed you're only 30. That's usually the hot spot of Vancouver Island. Port Alberni is the hot spot on the Big Island. It is smoking hot in Port Alberni. And for those of you people that don't know where Port Alberni is, it's en route if you're driving going to go to Tofino or Ucluelet. It's in kind of more in the middle of the island. And it definitely heats up more than everywhere else on Vancouver Island. It cooks in Port Alberni. And they got a nice little vineyard in there that we stop at on the way to Tofino. And they also have Cathedral Grove, which is really nice. And colder in the winter. Yeah, it's colder in the winter because it is inland from the ocean. So the ocean can't really regulate it as much. But once you get over closer to Tofino and Ucluelet, it changes again. That's where you see all the big cordylines. Now, I don't know about you. I haven't been to Tofino for a bit. How are the cordylines there? Somebody was asking me. I'm guessing the cordylines are probably fine. Our cordylines took a hit. They froze down, but they're all coming up again. And you know what? Some of them didn't freeze. I got some that should have froze, but they didn't freeze, which blows me away. The ones that I thought would freeze are alive, and the ones that shouldn't have froze are dead. But they came back. They're all coming up like crazy. You can't kill those things, right? They're like a perennial. So they're fine. So a first name, last name. I don't know if you know my buddy Brian. He lives in Tofino, just around the corner from the Shelter restaurant. And Wendy's nephew worked at the Shelter restaurant for quite some time. So you go around the corner from the Shelter restaurant. My friend's got this amazing exotic garden, and he's got boutillas there. I'm guessing they're fine, big ones. And he's got a huge date palm in his front yard, a very big date palm. He's got Brahia edulis. I'm guessing it's probably fine too. If the cordylines are fine, then the Brahia and the date palm is probably fine too. They get a lot less cold out on the far west coast than we do. So if it's -8 here, it might have been maybe -5 or -4.5 in Tofino, something like that. I don't think they got below -6. We got to -8 in the lower screen, and the upper screen 200 feet away is -6.6 degrees Celsius. And there was a post on Facebook today, and somebody kind of highlighted my name. So it was a post pertaining to growing zones on Salt Spring Island, and somebody wanted to know what the growing zone was on Salt Spring Island. I says, well, Salt Spring Island actually has 3 growing zones. On a zone map, it says we're zone 9, which is not true. There is zone 9A areas, and this was zone 9 for a long time, and then we fell into the high end of zone 8B during that freeze. They're fine. That's cool to know that the cordylines are fine in Tofino. So lately, we haven't been going to Tofino. We go somewhere else on the West Coast. Just Tofino's getting so commercialized and so expensive. So Wendy has found another spot that we really enjoy, and it's quite a way south of Tofino, and it is on the West Coast as well. And you know, it's only an hour and a half drive once we get off the ferry. So we got a 20-minute ferry from Salt Spring to Crofton, and then we just go straight across the island and we're there. And you know what? We really love it there. It's quiet. It's the thing is with Tofino, don't get me wrong, I love Tofino. It's just that Tofino is so busy now. It is getting developed too. Yeah. Tofino is very busy. Uculet's nice too. We go to Renfrew. We like to go to Port Renfrew. So, and Renfrew is very quiet. There's no real stores there to buy anything. There's a little cafe, little restaurant, general store, and there's the pub, and there's a gas station, and there's a little school. That's about it. And there's an old church that they moved there in 1970 from Duncan, but it is a very quiet place. And that's what we like. And when people come to Salt Spring Island, if you want busyness, go to Ganges, which is 11 kilometers south of where we live. If you want peace and quiet, there's some very beautiful, quiet places on Salt Spring Island. Where we are, it is very quiet. So that's why our accommodation guests, they usually come from the city and they stay here. And Wendy's got really good reviews on this accommodation. She's got 2 accommodations here. So, and they're full up. Last week we had really nice people from South Dakota and San Francisco. Really, really nice people that stayed at our accommodation. South Dakota were here for a wedding, and the people from San Francisco want to actually move here, which is kind of cool. My way, I'd move to San Francisco. I think this is a good place to be in Canada, though. That's what I don't like, first name, last name. I don't like the fact that Tofino is becoming so busy, commercialized, and touristy. And don't get me wrong, like I say, I really love Tofino. So last time we were there, we stayed in Tofino for 1 or 2 nights. And then we stayed in Uculet. And Uculet was it was a lot quieter, except for the sea lions all night. They're making a lot of noise. But Uculet is definitely a lot quieter than Tofino. But who knows? Maybe because the beaches are not as good as Tofino. But I'm sure it'll get developed too. Port Renfrew will probably get developed. Unfortunately, it all gets developed. Salt Spring Island. In the summertime, it gets pretty busy here. It's a very touristy place, the Gulf Islands in the summertime, the Southern Gulf Islands. But you know what? That's how that's what keeps the economy going, is the tourism here. And that's what Wendy relies on for her accommodations, is tourists, right? No tourists, her accommodations aren't going to be full. Wendy's accommodations are full. And so Wendy has a Magnolia Petal in Arbutus Blossom. And Arbutus Blossom is underneath 100-foot Arbutus trees. Absolutely beautiful. And quiet too. Like, we're so quiet up here. I just hear birds and me flapping my gums. It's very peaceful. Little bit of an ocean breeze. Oh, that feels nice. Thank God for the ocean. It's probably becoming developed from the. Yeah, it is a perfect climate. It is. Yeah, it is a perfect climate. Tofino and even here too. Except Tofino does get a lot of rain, but that doesn't bother me. And most times I've been to Tofino, it's actually nice and warm. Um, Tofino probably gets, I think, probably 12 feet of rain a year. Something like that is where we get about 3 feet of rain a year or so, right? I think this year was a little wetter. So I bet you and I haven't been even recording it lately. I just don't even care about it anymore. Since I retired, I just, don't really care about the weather as much anymore because I don't have to get up and work in it. Before I used to have to work in it. And, it's kind of, I was just writing down the data, see how cold it got, see how hot it got. Now I don't really care. So if it's an extreme minimum, I'll write it down. If it's an extreme maximum, I'll write it down. I think the hottest temperature we've had so far was around 34.5 or 6, something like that Celsius, right? So it's cooking out here right now. And where we are, we're right across street from the ocean. So can you imagine how warm it is inland Salt Spring? South end of the island's quite wide. I think it's 6 miles across. So if you get into the middle, the olives, the olive farm, it gets pretty toasty in there. So they're much warmer there than here. You know what? All the olive trees did 100% fine, perfectly fine through the deep freeze in December. Somebody was asking me. They said, "How are the olive trees doing at the olive farm on Salt Spring?" I said, "Totally fine. I shot a video of them and I uploaded it, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. I went down there on a motorbike ride. So they are doing absolutely beautiful. Didn't get cold enough to bother the olives. So Salt Spring Island is a good climate for growing olive trees. We have 2 or 3. We have a lot of olive trees here too in our garden. We have 2 or 3 that are in bloom right now. So maybe we'll get some olives on them. Maybe make something out of the olives. Brine them, brine the olives, right? And I was saying our yuccas, we have a lot of yuccas in bloom too. They're absolutely beautiful. I'm surprised the deer have not eaten the yucca flowers yet because deer actually like yucca flowers. Some yuccas you can eat the flowers too. I know filamentosa. I'm guessing probably recurvifolia too, but don't take my word on it. You'd have to Google that. But filamentosa you can eat, and you could probably cook with them too, or use them in salads. I ate one the other day when I was at Hal's place. Not too bad. I'm sure if you fried those things up or put them in a salad, it'd be pretty tasty, right? So, anyway, for Canadian climate, the Southern Gulf Islands is a pretty good place. You're not sweating to death in the summer. You're not getting bitten by bugs. And the wintertime, you can just work outside in a sweatshirt. Lucky the Pacific Rim Nature Preserve giving the developers. Good. We need more nature kept, right? I mean, yeah, logging is a renewable resource, and that's not a big deal. My house is made out of wood, so I don't want to be a hypocrite. We do log, it keeps people employed. Wendy and I do cut down a few big trees every year. They're not old growth. Last 3 we cut down were about 80, 90 years old. That's how we heat our house. I split a lot of firewood every year. I split a lot of firewood, and that's how we heat our house. So, yeah, I wouldn't be cutting down any old growth trees, but these are certainly not old growth. This island's probably been logged a couple times over. So there's no shortage of trees. Oh, you have a heat pump? You're smart. It's funny, I was talking about that today. We're at Beachside Cafe, and I was out for a motorbike ride, and then sure enough, I see Scotty. He flips around, and he pulls up beside me on his bike. We went to Beachside, and then we were sitting in front of Beachside. Then Wendy drives past from work this morning. So I flagged her down, and they have a heat pump. That's what it was. It felt like air conditioning going in there. And I says, "I think you guys got a heat pump." So I asked the girls, the kids that work there, the daughters. Says, "Yeah, it's a box on the outside of the building. It is a heat pump." So the good thing about a heat pump, it works both ways. In the summer, it cools you, and in the winter, it can heat you. So that would be a very good investment. My mom and dad put one in over in Duncan years ago, and they're quite happy with it. Duncan gets hot too. And I'm guessing a heat pump is a lot lower cost of energy to run than electric heat. I don't know what your electric bill is, but a heat pump would be definitely a thing to get here, even at our place, right? We have wood heat. We don't have a heat pump, and it gets hot in our house in the summer. They're efficient, okay. And how much to install? Probably about 5, 6 grand, maybe 10 grand, something like that. I wonder. Might be something to think about. A heat pump. Yeah, we have electric heat, but we never use it. We never ever have electric heat on. We have a wood stove, a Pacific Energy wood stove, and that heats our house all winter long. It's absolutely awesome. Right now, our room is. Hey, Wendy, I didn't check the garbanzo beans. Did you check them? Okay. Wendy's daughter's making hummus. So she's cooking. She's boiling garbanzo beans, chickpeas. So yeah, the neighbor put in a heat pump, and she really likes it. So it's like the unit's on the outside of the building, but there's a thing that sits on her wall, and I guess it blasts the cool, um, the cool blows cool air through, and in the summertime or in the wintertime it blows warm air through, which is a very very interesting thing the way it works. So, but yeah, I try not to use electric heat. It's just too expensive. Wouldn't be able to afford it, but our house gets pretty hot. We're on full on sun here. We get lots of sun, and our room we have the fan going, the door shut, and it's actually not so bad. They're noisy outside. Okay, probably like an air conditioner. And you know what? How often would we even use an air conditioner here? I mean, it doesn't get toasty hot like this all summer. Maybe where you are, it's a little hotter, but if you lived in Arizona or you lived in Texas or Tennessee or something, everybody's got air conditioners, or in Soyuz, Kamloops, Kelowna, Vernon, all those places. They have air conditioners. They need them here. Don't really need one. Don't really need an air conditioner. You know, we got the ocean breeze, but that's okay. I can handle the noise if it keeps you cool. When you step inside um, from the heat, nice to have cool temperatures in the house. Subtropical. Hey, it's Zach. How's it going? Southwest Tennessee. Oh, you changed the name. Okay, right. Williams, Arizona. Yeah, it'd be toasty down there right now. We're 90. It's about 90 here right now, but you know, it is. I'm not sweating yet, but the humidity is higher today. It's 52%. So I got burnt the other day too, but it is about 52%, which is a little higher than usual. No, you got a new account. So are you going to keep your original YouTube account with all your videos on it? Don't tell me you deleted it. Don't delete it, man, because the subscribers can still go up. I don't know how many subscribers you have, but I think you're close to 1,000, aren't you? Okay, let's see. Let's make you one here. Come on. Why isn't it not making? It's not letting me make you. Ah, how annoying is this? I'm trying to make you a moderator. What is going on here? That is the weirdest. Oh, add as moderator. Okay, there we go. Gotcha. Okay, now you're a moderator. Anyway, I know what it is because I don't have my mouse. I got just this laptop here, and I'm not used to using this little thing that comes with the laptop. I'm used to using a mouse, right? So, I thought it's. Oh, hi Pam. How's it going? It was. Did you make it to? Did you make it to 1,000 subscribers, Southwest Tennessee? Because I think you're getting close to 1,000. Thanks. Good to see you, Pam. Hope all is well in Wisconsin. Skip has been pretty quiet here on the radios. I worked a station the other day, but it was over. Oh, that's hot. Hot, 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 hot. Yeah, we haven't hit 100 yet, but we've been, what were we, 34 something? It's been in the 90s. It's 90 here right now. But you know what? I don't care. I'm not working in it. I say bring on the heat. If I don't have to work in it, bring on the heat. When I have to work in it, a little bit cooler is good. It's like I did a job for somebody a couple of mornings ago. And like I said, I was saying to these guys, I went early to beat the heat. Of course, I get there. It's a south slope. The sun is baking down on the slope the entire time. It's like, I don't think I've ever sweat so much in my life. I was there for a couple hours and it was just brutal, man. But I got her done. It was lots of brush cutting. My meme channel 2,000. Oh, good. See, that's good. Hey, you can monetize it. I prefer a gas furnace. Yeah, we don't have natural gas here, so we cannot do natural gas. There's no natural gas on Salt Spring Island, Fisher. We only have electric heat and oil. 113 and heat index. Oh, that's hot. Yeah, we've never hit that high. We were 109.2 last year in June. That was the hottest it's ever been here at this location. That's pretty hot. That is freaking hot. You could cook eggs outside. So you wouldn't even have to start up your stove. You could just bring a frying pan outside And actually, you could just throw the eggs right on the tarmac. Put your cast iron pan on the tarmac, and you could cook some eggs out there. I've heard of people doing that in Arizona, where it gets so freaking hot you can cook an egg out there. Isn't that crazy? It gets to 48. It does. It gets really hot in Phoenix, Arizona. I know Wendy's mom had a place in Phoenix. She used to be down there all winter, but it wasn't as hot in the wintertime. That's why she went in the winter, right? She'd go in the winter, got to 121.6 or something like that, or 8. It was Lytton, British Columbia was the hot spot. 121.6, I think it was. It was just absolutely insane in the membrane. Too hot for me, man. I don't think I would like that. Even if I wasn't working in it, I wouldn't like that. Like right now, it's okay. It feels a little bit uncomfortable to me, but I'm not working in it. If I had to work in this, I'd be absolutely dead. But it does feel, because the humidity is a little higher today, it does feel a little tacky. I'm just going to go see what the current temperature is. It might have gone down a bit. 1 second. I got to check out something. Hang on. Okay, guys. It's 51% humidity and 31 degrees Celsius right now at this current moment in the shade. It's 31. So the 51% humidity is actually high for us. So it does feel kind of a little tacky out here. I have, yeah, they're nice alocasia. They don't do very well here. It's just the soil's just too freaking dry. It's been watering every day. So much watering. And you know what? As much as I love summer, I kind of get sick of watering. So I look forward to the downtime. I look forward to the downtime in the fall when old man fall comes in and starts pouring down with rain on us, and I can just roll up the hose till spring. So that's going to be a while. So we still got to get through August, September, and then partway through October, and then the rainy season starts. So there's a lot more watering. But the plus side is I'm not working anymore. So, I'd have to, when I came home from work, it was just like nonstop work. It'd be like watering. I had so much stuff to do when I got home from work, and now I can do that in the morning. So this morning I got up with Wendy. She got up at 5. I don't know what time it was. Maybe it was 5:45, something like that. She had to go to work. So I got up early with her. I went out and watered. I went down to the south end and filled up some water jugs at a really nice well, really beautiful mineral water, and finished watering. It's just like a lot of watering to do. But the garden looks good. It's hanging in there. Hello from Chicago, metropolitan area, abstract on. You know what they call Chicago? They call that the windy sea. What's the humidity and temperature? The temperature here is, do we have clay soil? No, we have rocky soil. What's the humidity? We have 31 degrees Celsius and 51% humidity. So it's around 90. I think it's around 90 degrees out here or close to it. 51% humidity. Abstract Tom from the Windy City. You know why they call it the Windy City? I heard it's because of the politicians. That's what I heard. We have a very windy politician too that's running the country, the crime minister. But I don't want to get into that. I'm not going to get into politics here. I'm probably on the verge of getting kicked off of Facebook real soon anyway. I just speak my mind, and somebody didn't want to be my friend because I said something bad about the prime minister the other day. Oh, I can't be your friend anymore. It's like, oh wow, whatever. Freedom of speech, and I'm allowed to speak my opinion, and I respect everybody's opinion. If they don't respect mine, well, you know what? I don't want them to be my friend anyway. So anyway, and I put a meme on there. You know what happens after you're offended? Nothing. Now grow up and be an adult. Nothing happens after you're offended. It's like a waste of energy. When it gets over 100 for weeks, not extremely. Yeah, high humidity. You're like Southern Ontario, Montreal. Oh, as well. Rain down here. Oh man, I wish we had rain here. Oh, lots of rain down here in Eastern Tennessee. Send some rain here. 968 Horsefly. Port also gets a lot of snow. Yeah, Port Alberni does get more snow. Do you have cannas? No, I used to grow them many years ago. Deer would keep eating them. And you know what? They just take way too much water. It's like the bananas. The bananas they fizzled out. It's just they take way too much water. And you know what? I'm getting so sick of watering stuff like that. So they're stressed. Like Hal's bananas look amazing. He waters them and fertilizes them, looks after them. All the bananas that are looked after on Salt Spring look amazing. Mine look like crap. I don't look after them anymore, so they've diminished. So I'm almost thinking what's left of them, maybe just rip those ones out and just plant some more palm trees where the bananas are growing. It's been pouring. Oh, lucky you. Oh, 100. Oh, you're so lucky to have summer rain, man. I would wish it would rain here. If it poured here every week, a good downpour in the summertime, that's like the ultimate for the garden. Gardens love summer rain. When you get the heat, if it rained right now, so we got 90 degrees, and if it was followed with some rain, oh, the garden, it makes things grow so fast, right? So things in Tennessee are growing fast. I seen a deer in a creek near, no way, in Chicago. Wow, cool. My moose are thriving. Oh, cool. Valentina's are nice one. That's the red banana. My friend Austin in Arkansas was growing those. He actually sent me some one time, some about this size. Too freaking dry, unfortunately. I had them in a bad spot. So when I grew them out front, so I moved the whole clump down below. But most of Valentina are nice, and they're pretty hardy plant too. They're pretty root hardy. They produce the pink little fuzzy bananas. I don't know if they're edible. They might be edible. I think maybe a lot of seeds in them too, because he sent me some seeds, and I actually did grow those seeds, right? The deer follow the railroad tracks. Oh, that's pretty cool to see deer in the suburbs, in the city, right? We got a lot of deer here, man. There's no shortage of venison here. You know what I mean? This is like, oh, I smucked one with my truck about 2 weeks ago. God, good thing I was going slow. So, and they just jump out without warning, and that's what you got to watch when you're riding a motorbike. So I'm cruising along in my truck, and next thing you know, the deer bolts out. It's like something was chasing it. It was a young deer, and it bounced off the hand side of my bumper and kept going. I don't know. I don't think I killed the thing, but you know, it definitely jerked the back end of it, and it kept running, and it didn't damage my truck. I was actually going under the speed limit. So I honestly believe growing zones are about uses. Oh, Justin Trudeau. I call him Justin Castro, the Prime Minister. You know what somebody said to me? I post stuff on my Banana Joe like page. You can see the stuff I post about him. I call him the Prime Minister. You know what somebody said to me on there the other day? They said, well, what's wrong with Justin Trudeau? What has he done wrong? I said, are you effing kidding me, man? Are you kidding? I said, I said, you can't be serious. The guy is a dictator, tyrant. He's got to be the son. Well, we think he's the son of Fidel Castro, or maybe he's the son of Joe Biden, because that guy's a tool too. I think that guy's got dementia. Can it actually grow the same? People in the can grow it's down here because it's like 6. Yeah, exactly. People in it can't grow exactly. Yeah, it's different. I mean, you can have a lower growing zone, and it doesn't mean in a higher growing zone you can grow more things. It just depends a lot on the heat units and how long you get that heat for too, right? So it's like crepe myrtle, for instance. People grow crepe myrtle here. The biggest one I know of is probably 25, 30 feet tall, and they do flower, but they're not a common plant because they love so much heat. In the south, hey, hon.
I gotta check up above because there might be here.
Oh, I gotta show them this. Come here. Wendy just drew this. Check this out. Wendy's latest piece of art here. She just drew that. Wendy likes hummingbirds, so she's out in the courtyard drawing things. And you know, Wendy is an artist, so that's her latest little piece of art. But I think the accommodation, guess. Yeah, she's a really good artist. She's got a gallery here. So if you're ever on Salt Spring Island, you want to see her gallery. She used to have a big art gallery near town, but she's got a very small art gallery here on our property, Gallery 59. And she does have a Facebook page for gallery. She's not on Facebook anymore, but I think Gallery 59 page still exists, but we haven't uploaded stuff to it in a long time. Don't get me wrong. You can't get away with a lot of stuff and your higher growing zone or the banana. Yes, well, it's like heat-loving plants. Right now, it's fine, but winters here are cool and wet, and this spring sucked. This spring was absolutely one of the crappier springs. I've seen cold springs before, but this spring, I kind of liked it because the garden absolutely loved it, and I didn't have to water. I thought, oh God, when this ends, I'm gonna have to start watering. So the garden is an absolute freaking jungle, man. It's just the fatsia trees are so freaking massive. Everything's just thriving out there. We got privets blooming, all the yuccas are blooming. The garden looks amazing. Guavas are growing like weeds, loquat, but I didn't have to water, and that was a good thing. when you have to, when you in this fall, I'm going to roll up the hoses again. You guys are lucky in the south; you get that summer rain. That's something we don't get, and I wish we had. It's perfect for gardens. If you can get summer rain, I think even back east they maybe get summer rain like Montreal and Toronto, and that really helps the plants along. Things do get stressed here in the summertime. If I didn't water in the summertime, we would probably lose a lot of plants. And these are on irrigation system. These palms behind me are irrigated, so I turn it on every morning manually, and I leave it on for like 20 minutes each side and each zone, and it really does help out. Port Albernia zone 7. I was thinking more 8A. Are you? Constantly like, yeah, something like that. 45 degrees, something like that in the day, and 46. And it doesn't change much by nighttime. The temperatures can be like 38 to 40, something like that. But then we did have that cold snap. But the last time we had a cold snap like that was December 2008. I didn't have rain for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, we haven't had rain for a long time here. I don't know. It's probably been a month or so. Well, at least cacti. Yeah, we do have cactus here too. Hey, Dallas, how's it going there, buddy? How's things in Tennessee? How are things where you are in Tennessee, in Manchester, Tennessee? We got Zach in Tennessee, and you are in Tennessee. I think somebody else is in Tennessee here too. My friend is having a thunderstorm in Williams, Arizona. Wow. We got a friend that goes to Sedona. She really loves Sedona. Oh, you got to go. Okay, take care, Abstract Honk. Thanks for hopping in and joining in the fun. So sounds like Wendy's got a check-in. She's got B&B guests that arrived at one of her accommodations. It's it's a jungle, right on. You got to like that. The Tennessee jungle, the volunteer state jungle. The reason I get close to the screen is because my eyes are so effed up. I'm going in for another eye surgery on August 18th. I got to go for another eye surgery. So, and I don't have my reading glasses on. For me in the winter, it's here where 85. One day is 85 low, 70 and 45 low. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, more inconsistent. On the Oregon coast, it's very interesting. When you go to Brookings, they can have 75-degree winter days. Brookings, to me, is a pretty amazing climate. And I've been down to Brookings. And if you ever get a chance and you're in Oregon, go to Brookings, Oregon, and Gold Beach. You will absolutely be blown away from the flora that you see growing in Brookings, Oregon. It looks like it should not belong where it is growing that far north. It's the same stuff you see growing in California, quite a way south of there, right? I mean, the stuff is flawless because it just never gets cold enough to damage it. Dead of winter here for me is like spring. Cool. That's awesome. Well, our winters are mild and wet. That's what I say, mild and wet, because it's rare that it gets frigid here. Although this last December, our winter was 1 week. Our winter was 1 week here in late December. We had snow. We had flipping cold. We had -8 degrees Celsius. So 17.5 degrees Fahrenheit in the lower screen and 20 degrees Fahrenheit in the upper screen. It was cold. It was a cold snap, man. Yeah, well, I don't know if you get many 90-degree days in the winter. We've had a lot of 90-degree days this summer. Lots of 90 degrees. The past week, it's been up above 30 every single day. So we've been up 90 degrees plus every single day. It's been pretty warm here, and lots of in the 80s. So it has been a warm summer. And it's funny, it just came on like that. But you got to remember, I am so much farther north than everybody else on this board, unless you're in England, of course. And they've been having a heat wave there. I think they had a 40-degree Celsius day. They were complaining about the heat there. But you got to remember, I'm this far north, and the way I look at it, you see those plants behind me? None of this stuff should grow here, man. When I was up in Texada Island, I couldn't believe it. Way up on Vancouver Island, there's huge palm trees growing everywhere. There's just so many palm trees growing up on Vancouver Island. Like, I'm talking 100 miles north of here, there's towering palm trees. 4-year major freeze a week for me is only a couple hours difference. Yeah, but every so often you guys get a worse freeze than us. Your extreme low minimums are actually colder than here, and that can be a problem too. So once you get some really established plants and you get a temperature that gets down to 0 degrees or below, sometimes that kicks the living crap out of them too. Like Dallas, Texas. Overall, Dallas, Texas is going to be very warm compared to us, but every so often they get below freezing Fahrenheit, and that just wipes everything out. See, we don't get below freezing Fahrenheit here. Lowest temperature ever on Salt Spring is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. You look at Tallahassee, Florida. Average overall, it's warmer there than here, But once every so often you get a bad deep freeze, and lowest temperature, which happened a long time ago, is -2 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold, man. That's enough to kill a lot of plants, which sucks. Tofino doesn't get no. Tofino, it rains a lot. Even Texada Island. I was up there, and that's way north of here in Desolation Sound. And I asked the guy, and there's palm trees growing everywhere up there. I said, "What was your December freeze like?" He says, "2 days of snow, not that cold, done." And that's like 100. That's like 100 miles north of here, man. It's crazy. Desolation Sound is this interesting place. Seattle has heat wave. Yeah, we're only 100 miles north of Seattle, just as the crow flies. But and you know what? You can see Mount Rainier from when you go to the mountains on the south end of Island. You can see into Seattle and all that stuff, all through the San Juans. Desolation Sound is quite a ways north here. It's 198 kilometers north of Victoria. And you go up to Savory Island, and it's like the warmest swimming water north of Mexico on the Pacific Ocean side, which is crazy. So I wanted to test it out. So I walked into the ocean, and it wasn't bad. I'm not going to say it was bathtub warm, but it was swimmable. And a local said to me, he says, "You give her another 2 or 3 weeks, and it'll be like a bathtub." I thought those seeds you sent me from the pub were growing. Oh, so they are coming up. Isn't that funny the way that works? Sometimes I have stuff in the baggie. Like I had some Trachycarpus princeps seeds in the baggie. Nothing comes up in the baggie. Somebody said to me, "Well, Joe, throw them in the ground." So I put the seeds in the ground beside the jubea, and I kind of forgot about them. And I look, and then there's 2 Trachycarpus princeps, or 3, germinated beside the jubea, and I couldn't really transplant them because the roots from those princeps were all through the roots of the jubea. Now the jubea is dead. The jubea froze. The jubea died at Grace Point. Can you believe it? We planted in 1999, and that December freeze was so badass it killed it. I looked at it, and the center spears were all brown, and they popped out. Done. Toast. Dead jubea, man. My jubea is dead too. My jubea was small. It was a little jubea. It still sucks though. Cannas, cool. I like cannas. They're nice. I wish I could grow them. I could probably grow them by the pond down below, but deer will eat them up, and I don't want to protect stuff down there. Do you like? Yes, I like. I will never forget that. Yeah, no, that sucks. First name last. Abstract Tom, do you like spicy food? Yeah. You know what? You know what I like? At A&W, they had the Nashville chicken. They had this chicken burger. They called it the Nashville spicy chicken. Oh, to die for. And I entered the draw many times to win a trip to Nashville. So they haven't pulled the names yet. Maybe I'll get to go to Nashville, Tennessee. That'd be cool. So the Nashville spicy chicken at A&W, what it was this really moist chicken breast, no bones, and they deep fried it quickly so it's crispy, and then they put this hot sauce with it. Oh, it was so good. Probably totally bad for me, but good. I don't eat a lot of fried food. Oh, and to be fair about Dallas, there was a lot of zonal denial in the city. Yeah, no, Dallas can get very cold. Very, very cold. Dallas is zone 8. So Tony Cerboni lives there, and Tony has an amazing palm garden. And his big Washingtonia died. He had a flipper in the front yard. But I'm pretty sure in the photo he posted, when they cut the thing down, there was spear coming out of it. Can you imagine? It was alive. It was alive. He cut this palm down. He should have waited, man. I would have waited. A lot of palms they cut down there were probably alive. So the palms they lost. Yeah, some of them probably did, but some of them would have survived too. I think a lot of them did perish, but there was the odd one that actually made it. I miss thunderstorms. Yeah, we just don't. Thunderstorms are pretty rare. Palms and small cactus, thinking about some. Yeah, palms and small cactus, good plants. Don't plant zone 9 palms. It's not here to work long run. Yeah, so it's like here too. Butia in our garden, I know, is short term. The spears go, but you know what blows me away is that date palm. I put the bucket over top. The spear is out like this much right now. It survived. A Phoenix Canariensis date palm I grew from seed, not a big one, little trunk on it. You've seen the videos. I put this nursery bucket over it, and then I put that stuff around it. The stuff when you want to protect your dashboard from the sun, they got that metallic kind of thing you put in your window. It's kind of maybe an insulating thing. And I wrapped that around it, and I put the bucket over, and it's like, are you kidding me? The thing was totally green, but I ended up pulling the spear out. I thought it was a goner. It's pushed a new spear out, man. It's just absolutely awesome. It made it. And we have lots of date palms in pots, but I put those in the tiki hut. They're fine. You know what else survived in our non-heated tiki hut is the big yucca gigantea in pots. And some of them look worse for wear, but they're shooting out growth everywhere, which is pretty amazing. I'm zone A. I have a few zone 9 palms, but I understand they can go. Yeah, well, same with me. I'm not, you know what? I'm not pushing anything. I've done my experimenting. I've done lots of experimenting over the years. I'm not pushing it. No more Jubeas for me. No more Butias. Um, I have Sables. Sables are fine. Yeah, they like more heat, but they're growing fine here. And they're hardy. The Sable, you know, it's funny. That Sable at Grace Point was obviously hardier than Jubea. The Sable at Grace Point is absolutely flawless, and the Jubea perishes. So the Sable was planted 1997, and the Butia or the Jubea was planted 1999, and the Jubea is gone. It just really sucks. My olive trees. Oh yeah, olive trees are cool too. And I was gonna say the olives on Salt Spring, the olive farm is totally fine. They're all. I went by there, shot a video. That will make the date. Yeah, well, hopefully it's more hardy. Maybe it's a hardier one. I hope so. Only time will tell. Hopefully, with the heat, the fresh water isn't drying up like last year, and hopefully the grass. Yeah, well, here we're on a well, and I do find our well does get murky at this time of the year. Like it's a little bit more. How do I say? There's more sediment in it. So the B&B guests, we always have signs up everywhere. Please conserve water. The sable at Grace Point is. What do you think it is? What palm do you think it is? Because few people have told me they think that's sable rosii. I don't know what sable it is then, but I keep labeling it sable rosii. I haven't got a clue what it is. Not sable minor. It's definitely not sable minor. I can tell you that. Just got don't my 50 seedlings. Oh, 1 gallon. Cool. Just got don't. You're planting your 50 seedlings right on. You think it's Brasoriensis? Well, it could be. It came from a Palm Society. My friend bought it from a Palm Society member in Vancouver. I remember when he got it in 1997. So the trunk on it's probably about this big now, something like that. The spears on it are like a weapon. It is just such a beautiful palm. Yeah, it's slower growing this far north, but you know what? It's never been damaged. It went through the bad freeze December 98, December 2008. It's funny, I was in December 2008, and also December 2022 or 2021. Bad freezes. It makes it. The Jubea doesn't make it. So whatever it is, it's hardier than Jubea chilensis. I want to get Thai black banana. Oh yeah, you should also try James Palms removed. Why is that? Why did he remove his sable minor? Oh no, you mean a sable palmetto. It was a sable palmetto. It wasn't sable minor. I saw the video. No, you should try. You know what? No, you know what banana you should try in Tennessee? Musa sycamensis and Musa itinerans. Musa sycamensis and Musa itinerans. Google those ones. Also, Musa rajapuri. Musa rajapuri. That's the one you got to try. Yeah, sable palmetto shouldn't have a problem in Tennessee. I don't know. Next time I'm on the mainland, I'm going to go check out the ones on the mainland. There's one in a guy's garden growing south of Vancouver. Apparently, the guy's date palm survived south of Vancouver. It's massive. He planted it about 21 years ago. It is a freaking huge thing. He did give it some help through the cold. It's up over his house. The trunk is taller than me, and I can't wrap my arms around it. So he's got a big Phoenix canariensis. Foodie Phil was here last week, and he says it survived. I go, well, that's good to know. That's a good thing. Oh, but he removed it because it was no. Yeah, I think it died, didn't it? Some of the bananas are blue like. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, sables definitely like the heat. I like sables. Our sables are actually growing pretty good, and our needle palms are growing good too. I water our needle palms every single day. We have a lot of needle palms, absolutely thriving. The sable palms look fine, and I expect slow growth, and I like them because you don't have to fuss over them. Really, seriously, I've been growing palms outside for a long time, since outside in our garden since the mid 1980s, and I've experimented with so many different types of palms. Some I used to, protect a little bit and help. And it's just a lot of work. And I don't want the garden to be a lot of work. At my age, I'm 58. I want it to be low maintenance. We don't have any grass to cut. The only maintenance I really want in our garden is actually watering the garden. So the tree fern I have to water every day. And that's one thing I do protect in the winter. In the wintertime, our Tixonia is absolutely massive. I can see the fronds from here. And I just put burlap on the inner crown, and I put some bubble wrap on top of that. On the inner crown, the croziers unfurl, and I just put a rock or something to hold the bubble plastic down. Spence, I just reported is 100. Oh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. I like windmill palm. Windmill palms are good. But the 1 gallon palm seedlings back in the greenhouse yeah, you can put them in the sun or the shade. Grown temperate climates. don't like bananas that can grow in temperate climates, so commences for me. But raspberry, yeah, musabaju. Actually, I was at Hal's the other day, and he's got these musabaju, but I don't even know if they're musabaju. Hal Saloon, he's got these bananas with red splashes in the leaves, and it could be a hybrid or maybe it's something else. But he's got some Hal's bananas look amazing, you know. Yeah, I like windmill palms too. How long does your growing season last? Well, our first frost is usually in December. That's when our first frost is usually every year in December sometime. So we have a long growing season. Our last frost in the spring was in February, I believe. It was February sometime when we had our last frost. Daniel, you're in Oregon. Have you tried Serrano Repens? Yes, I tried it in 1989 at my last place, and it died the first winter, but that was zone 88B. It was in the late 1980s. I imported from California. My favorite bananas. Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet, or Noco. They're nice ones though. They have a tree fern at the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago. The whole considered plants. Oh yeah, so it would be inside in Chicago. Ours is Dicksoni Antarctica. We also have two Cyathea cooperi, which are absolutely thriving, and we also have more tree ferns in the back here that made it through the winter with no protection. I can't believe it, man. I got tree ferns back here, little Dicksonia that actually made it. They're in the back garden right behind me. It's absolutely crazy. I thought they were toast. I thought they burnt up and died last summer heat wave, and they actually made it through that. And it fried the fronds off them, and they actually made it through the winter too. So shade or sun, since I just repotted them, doesn't matter. You can still put them in sun. Palms are hardy, man. You can put them in the sun. They don't burn easy like the other plants. Do you think a Mexican fan palm? No. Short term, but you know what? Well, you know what? Maybe longer term than we think. So all the cordylines in Tofino were fine, right? My buddy Brian in Tofino has that big Canary Island date palm, I believe, which is still fine. He's also got Brahia edulis, which I believe is fine. And he's also got a Norfolk Island pine in front of his place. It's been there 10 or 15 years, which I believe is fine. Tofino is solid zone 9. So I really don't have I really don't really worry about the plants too much there. Tofino is a really amazing place. I mean, it's 255 kilometers northwest of here on the far west coast of Vancouver Island. And it is so regulated, the temperatures by the Pacific Ocean. I mean, like I said, if it's -8 here, it's probably -4 there. It's a big difference. And I mean, the cordylines are trees. The cordylines are the tree of choice on the west coast of Vancouver. And wherever you go, you see these cordyline trees. And they self-seed there. And they do actually self-seed here too. You know what else self-seeds here is Fatsia, Fatsia japonica. In front of Wendy's gallery, there's these big Fatsias, and we have Fatsia trees all over the garden. I'll show you something here. If you can see this without dropping, I don't know if you can see down here. You can see the Fatsia trees, right? They're everywhere. You see in the distance the tree fern. It is like a freaking jungle here. That other green tree to the right of the house, that's a bay tree. But you can see the Fatsias and everything else, and the eucalyptus. It gets hot on this slope. There's Trachycarpus manipure down there, more palms, and it just goes on and on. And I haven't even been watering that slope. That slope is neglected, man. That is one neglected slope. I have not watered it at all. Seems to be thriving, and I think that's the way we're going to keep her. Survival of the fittest. So if some things die, that's just the way she goes. Do you have any bunny ears? Yeah, we have lots of it. We have lots of cactus. So you know what? I would say Mexican fan palm would actually survive for quite some time in Tofino and Uculate. Do you think Tofino is the... Oh, yeah, California fan palm would be absolutely useless there. Washingtonia flifer is absolutely useless anywhere here this far north. They hate cool, wet winters. I know, I've tried lots of them. Back in the 1980s, I probably grew 1,500 of them from seed. And even a bunch of them got botrytis, even in the greenhouse. They absolutely hate cool, wet winters. They like heat, and they like to be tapped into water. Do you have any cacti? Yeah, we have tons of it. Yeah, we have lots. We have a good cactus garden. There's lots of native cactus here too. We have native cactus on our island. Do you have any bunny ears? Yes, we have microday. We have all that stuff. Yeah, been growing cactus since the 1980s in the garden. I got videos here. Look up cactus on my on this channel here. Search cactus and you'll see what we grow here on Salt Spring. There's some amazing cactus gardens here. Lots of agaves too. I wasn't sure if cordylines actually truck, but I planted one in a pot and overwintered indoors. Yeah, they're pretty cool plants. And the thing is with cordylines, they do have a big taproot on them, so if they freeze down, they'll come back like a perennial. Nope, I don't think palms would do very well in a soyuz. Cactus grows well there. I think if you were to grow palms in a soyuz, right beside the lake in a sheltered spot, you could probably get away with sable minor and Rapidophyllum hystrix. Wendy's aunt lives in Oliver, which is beside a soyuz, and she's right on the lake. So a soyuz is desert. A soyuz is true desert, just north of Oroville, Washington, and you could grow yuccas there. There's native cactus. You could probably grow sable minor and needle palm in a sheltered spot because the winters still get pretty cold, but it's dry there. I think they probably only get about 8 inches of rain annually or something like that. It is a desert there, man. It's stinking hot. Like they get lots of days of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Too hot for me. Everybody's got air conditioning there. There's rattlesnakes there, So yeah, I don't think I've been up in that area, not that area, but I've been to Kamloops a few times, and it's like a freaking oven. That's what it feels like to me. It's a dry heat. The heat you just freaking bake. It's like all around you, and I don't really like it. In the winter, I cover my banana plants with mulch and come back. Oh, cool. Good for you, man. Right on. And you guys get a lot of heat there too. You do get the heat in the Windy City. There's no doubt about it. Chicago gets it's way hotter in Chicago than it is here in the summertime. I think Illinois is pretty close to the lakes, right? There's the big Great Lakes up there. But here we have the ocean. So, it's funny when I'm riding my motorcycle around, I can really feel the hot and cold spots in the summertime. In the summertime, this is actually a cool spot when I'm driving through the trees because I'm looking at the ocean as I'm driving. And it's like, wow, the difference. And when I'm driving past St. Mary's Lake, it's like a freaking oven. And then I drive down into Ganges and it's kind of cooler again, right? So you can feel all the hot and warm spots. When I'm driving where the olive farm is, it's baking hot. And then I get down into the very south end where the Hawaiian church is and graveyard, and it's a little bit cooler again because you're right by the water. 86 degrees Fahrenheit, Lake Michigan. There is, did they check in?
No, not yet. It's getting, probably, they're touching very.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody checked in. Do you have crickets? Yes, we have lots of crickets. We have praying mantis. We have lizards. We have snakes. There's lots of wild stuff here. Yeah. Do you think it would be possible? 86 Fahrenheit, 20 minutes away. 86, pretty toasty. Toasty. Yeah, it's around 90 here right now. And you know what? Like I said, I'm not working it, so it's all good. Do you think it would be possible to grow? And I don't know how cold hardy saguaro is. I've often wondered about that. How I can tell you one thing. I think in a soyuz you might be able to grow Joshua tree, which is Yucca brevifolia. I've grown it here for many, many years, and it just kind of finally petered out. And it wasn't from cold. Somebody brought me some seed back from Joshua Tree Park, and I really did have them planted in the wrong spot, underneath these big trees that kind of sucked the life out of them in the cactus garden. So I had Joshua tree growing for a long time. Joshua tree are actually a Yucca brevifolia. They're very cold hardy. So I think Joshua tree might work in a soyuz. Saguaro, maybe somebody can tell me how cold hardy they are. How cold hardy is a saguaro cactus? Saguaro or saguaro? And we have lots of crickets here. Crickets don't start up until August sometime. You want to say hi to everybody?
Say hi.
No, I want you to say hi again. Wendy's booking our trip to Maui. So my next live stream is going to be from Maui.
Yeah.
We just learned.
Joe just talks so much that it's okay. He can, I don't talk.
Wendy gets sick of me talking.
No, I don't.
She wants me to go on another vacation soon. She wants to boot me out of the house. I might have to move into the tiny house. I'm sad to the beachside. I know it sucks, man. It had really, and I really like the people there too. I really do like the people that own beachside. So it's for sale, but it's also possible that it could get rented out, and it's a really good rental. There's a rental unit upstairs, like somebody rents the suite upstairs, like an accommodation. And then in the front of the building, there's a nail salon, part of the same building, and it's kayak and paddleboard rentals as well. They have like guides that will take you out paddleboarding. So it's a really good business, and it's a good little cafe coffee shop. So if you know anybody that's interested in buying Beachside Cafe, the owners are awesome. I'm friends with them. I'm good friends with Anna Banana and Jay. They're the nicest people, and I wish them the best. They actually are the producers of Purica vitamins. They started the company Purica. You can look it up online. They sell Purica vitamins. And I think that's all over North America. Purica is a big company. So that's their main thing. This is just kind of like a side business, right? What is the highest elevation palm you know of? Do you? Yes, there is choa cactus here. I got videos of them. You betcha. Look at my videos of choa cactus, big ones here on Salt Spring. What is the highest elevation palm I know of? Ciroc Ceylon or Parajubea? I believe Parajubea cocoides grows at up to 11,200 feet. Trachycarpus tequil in the Himalayas and northeast facing slopes can grow up to 8,200 feet. So it'd have to be Parajubea cocoides torellii. They are in the Andes Mountains of South America. But you know what? They're not as cold hardy as Trachycarpus palms. As high as that is up there, it doesn't get as cold as you think. Our Parajubea died. Our Parajubea that Foodie Phil got me is toast. And it was, I mean, that's a high elevation palm. So a good climate for a Parajubea would be Southern Oregon coast, maybe Tofino. I think Tofino would have been done well, but here it just got too cold in December and it killed it. And I knew it wasn't a long-term palm here for sure. It's not. So I do have some Waggies growing beside it. Waggies are going to grow good. Unfortunately, that perished. And I had it wrapped. What is the highest? Yeah, so that is, and the fastest growing palm I know of is Pigafetta. Pigafetta is also native to South America. And you look that one up. Pigafetta is I think it's a pinnate species, and it grows extremely fast, faster than Washingtonia. It says squirrel can tolerate 10 to 14. Okay. It can get colder than that in a Soyuz. So, you know what? And the problem here, it's just way too wet in the wintertime. You'd have to probably build something over top of it and keep it dry. So it would probably work here if you were to build a cover over top of it in the wintertime. Put a patio umbrella over top of it, put it in really gravelly soil, and it might work. Yeah, I know. The Chilean wine palm toast. Ours is toast. You know, that was a bad freeze. It was a really bad freeze. It was one of the worst freezes, short-term freezes I've seen since I've been here. I've been here 3 decades at this spot. I've been growing palm trees on Salt Spring since the 1980s because I was growing them at my mom and dad's place near town. And another really bad freeze was early February 1989. That was a really wicked freeze. Super short-lived, but extremely cold. It was a really mild winter. Then February 3rd or 4th came, 1989, and it got down to like minus 10. It was like minus 10 degrees Celsius, just like that. Boom. And it fell. They bottomed right out really fast. They fell like a lead balloon, the temperatures, and that was really bad. Late freezes and early freezes are really bad for your garden. Remember that. Yeah, so it is a drag that it died. And anyway, abstract ton, there is cholla cactus here. I have some windmill palms that turned really brown this winter. Growth is vibrant. But oh no, this is fine. You know what, Jesse? If the center growth is coming out, you got spears coming out, they're going to be totally fine. The nice thing about Trachycarpus palms, it's one palm I know of. You can pull the center spears out. They can kind of smell fermented and rotten. Leave that thing alone. Pour a little hydrogen peroxide down it or copper sulfate, and they have the ability to actually regenerate new spears. This is where a lot of palms, when they lose their center spears, they're done. So I was quite surprised with the Canary Island date palm because I've had them lose spears before and they're toast. This little date palm I grew from seed, put a nursery bucket over top of it. I was expecting the worst when I uncovered that palm. I thought crispy brown. I go, what the hell? This thing's totally green. And it did have its center spears when I took the pot off. And then a little bit later, of course, the spears pulled out and I go, okay, it's a goner. Well, guess what? The spears are up like about that much now. Awesome. I didn't know how it started. It did. It starts at Lund. Look at my video, man. It starts at Lund, which is way far north of here. I couldn't believe it. So I get to Lund, which is in the northern end of the Sunshine Coast, way north of here. And there's this big monument, right? There's this big rock monument. And it said, this is the start of Coastal Highway 101 that goes all the way to Chile. So the guy named John that was the parking lot attendant, he told me all about it. I says, I had no idea. I thought Highway 1 started in Washington State. He says, no, it starts in British Columbia. Absolutely blew me away. And yeah, they got a big monument there. There's like a kind of like a life preserve on it. So that's where we took the ferry or the water taxi over to Savory Island. And Savory Island, if you ever come to British Columbia, go to Savory Island, man. That's where that 40-foot fully skirted palm tree is. It's just like, that's That's about 100. It's 100. Savory Island is 198 kilometers north of Victoria. It's far north of here, and the warmest swimming water north of Mexico on the Pacific side. There's Dara. How's it going, Dara? Hope all is well in Ireland. I'm sure it is. The Emerald Isle. The Emerald Isle. Yeah, it's hot here right now. It's 31 degrees Celsius and 51% humidity. Current time is 5:32 p.m. Pacific time. Do you ever allow visitors to your? Oh yeah, people come here. Oh no way! You should have contacted me. We have 2 accommodations here, so there's people come here to see the gardens. They stay at our accommodation, and most people want to see the gardens around Magnolia, Petal, and Arbutus Blossom. We have massive gardens here. Like seriously, like I've had so many garden tours here over the years. So if you're on Salt Spring Island, contact me. It's so much better when the guests aren't here because there's certain areas of the garden I really can't show you if the guests are here because if they're lounging down there where the tree fern is, then I can't really go down there and bother them. So it's almost better maybe in the fall when things slow down, like beginning of October, maybe middle of October. Then you come see the gardens, and then I can show you everything. And I thought it was cool to see the stone arch held up. I know, isn't that crazy? That's actually just behind us here. Hope all is Jason. How's it going, man? All is well. All is well. Yes, we have many visitors to our gardens here, Jesse. I have loads of palms growing wild. Even Washingtonia have opened up. Oh, cool. Right on. Open the. Oh, excellent, South. Good, Dara. That's good. That's good. And people will be interested in that. And then you can tell them about palm trees and then spread the palmy word to people, and more people will grow palm trees. And I've been on this island so long, everybody that lives here that's into gardening knows who I am. I mean, I used to write the weekly garden column for years. I was the columnist for the weekly garden column. So anybody that's a gardener here knows who I am, and many people have been to our garden. You're back. I have loads of palms. That's cool. And yeah, that is a pretty cool. I shot that video quite some time ago, Abstract Tom. I forgot about that video. It was kind of cool, isn't it? The way you can hold up an arch just but the pressure, the way you stack the stones. I think God, it's going to fall on that girl's head, but obviously not. They've been doing that for thousands of years. So anyway, we have big gardens, and a garden tour here is going to take at least an hour to look through our gardens because they are very big. I mean, sometimes it takes over an hour to look through our gardens. And we have a lot of plants. You know, the very few plants we did lose, like the little palm trees, the dubia, lost one brahia. The other brahia is thriving. So, and the brahia was small, but you can't even tell that anything is missing from our garden because there's so many plants in here. Well, that's my palm I've added to the gravel path to the garden. Yes. Well, that's my palm I've added gravel. Oh, good. You awesome. Good. Graveled paths are nice. I have a new Trachycarpus fortunae. How cold can our little seedlings? We have seedlings everywhere, Jason. They've never been damaged by cold. The coldest temperature I have seen here is minus 8 degrees Celsius, 17.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And our seedlings are fine. Even our seedlings in pots. I have thousands of palm seedlings in pots in the nursery, 2.5-inch liner size pots. In non-heated cold frames, I put Lexan over top of them. I thought, oh God, it's going to be a disaster. Once things thaw out, they're going to be toast. They all survive, man. Palm trees look totally fine. All the palms are totally fine. So I was actually quite surprised. So it obviously didn't get cold enough to kill our Trachycarpus. Our all-time record low is false. Look at the surrounding. Interesting. Yeah, and it just depends where you live. I have the all-time lows for every state. I actually have the all-time lows for every state in the U.S. I'll dig it up sometime, and next time I do a live stream on here, I'll read them out to you. So it's the all-time low for the whole state, like what it was recorded in that state, not Nashville or Memphis or where you live. It's the state low, right? And the lowest in Florida I know is -2. That was Tallahassee. I think it was minus. What was it? Virginia Beach was down there too. Virginia Beach was really cold. It's crazy some of the all-time lows. I mean, if you look at the all-time lows in British Columbia, it's absolutely brutal in our province. If you go up north, I mean, British Columbia is a big province. It's 2.5 times bigger than the state of Texas. So there's 9 growing zones here, 0 to 9, right? And if you're in 0, man, it's going to get pretty freaking cold in a record-breaking winter. I would not want to be there. I think Snag, Yukon is the coldest place ever recorded in Canada at -56 degrees below 0. Could you imagine that? That would kill everything in your garden. Well, that'd kill everything on our island, including me. So there you go. So the coldest temperature I've recorded here is -8 degrees Celsius. They basically report not as lows because they didn't have weather station. Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? To me, Illinois is -45. Yeah, I'll find that sometime. Next time I do a live stream, I'll bring it out. I got so much weather data, it would blow your mind. I got lots of weather data on the States, and I got lots of big weather books from the US that tell all-time lows of different cities as well. I bought it in Honolulu years ago. It's really good because I like weather. But you know what? I'm not recording the data anymore. I have all the data in books. I have Environment Canada books with all the data all over the place. But I used to write it down religiously. I was kind of like this anal weather guy, but I'm not that guy anymore. -10. That's it? -10. See, that's not bad. Yeah. So here, I believe it was -11 degrees Celsius. Yeah. -11 on the north end of Salt Spring Island. So pretty close. -11. And that was a long time ago. Yeah. The true record low, -7 degrees Fahrenheit. -7 Fahrenheit. So I don't know what that is in Celsius. I mean, I do both. I do Fahrenheit and Celsius. -4 degrees Fahrenheit is -23 degrees Celsius. I'm just thinking the coldest temperature a Trachycarpus has ever survived. I remember us talking about it at the Palm Society meetings I used to go to back in the day. And they said the coldest temperature, and I got write-ups on this stuff too in palm journals, was -23 degrees Celsius, Trachycarpus palms. Mature established ones have survived. They were defoliated, but they survived. So we know Trachycarpus palms are very hardy arborescent palms, right? So yeah, ours was about -11 degrees Celsius. I have it in the Climate Normals of Canada books. Here on the north end at the St. Mary Lake weather station on the north end of the, there's weather stations all over Salt Spring Island. There's also one on Saturna. I don't know if there's any on Galliano, Maine, or Pender, but there's definitely one on Saturna too, right? They say, yeah, they can take colder than that. What's your accommodation called? Yeah, we're on booking.com. It's called Magnolia Petal Accommodation on Salt Spring Island. And Arbutus Blossom is part of it. So Arbutus Blossom is a king bed, and it's its own separate unit. And then Magnolia Petal is a suite down below, which is absolutely beautiful. You go out into these exotic gardens. You got your own sun deck. You're surrounded by palm trees, and you got the tree fern hanging over the deck. It's absolutely gorgeous. And what's that? Yeah, everybody comes here says like being in Hawaii. We got a lot of Americans stay in our B&B. Like I say, the last guests we had here last week were San Francisco down there, South Dakota up here. Love the guys from South Dakota. Totally awesome guy. Young guys. They're here for a wedding. His brother lives on Salt Spring, so they're here for a wedding. And I asked him, I says, is South Dakota an open carry state? He says, totally open carry. I go, that is like the most coolest thing. Dudes, I would have a 9mm strapped to my side if I lived in South Dakota. I think I'd probably have to become a cowboy. So accommodation is called Magnolia Petal Accommodation on Salt Spring Island. And then our other one is Arbutus Blossom. And the reason she calls it Arbutus Blossom because it's under tall Arbutus trees. It's absolutely beautiful. Arbutus Blossom's amazing. I think it's more for younger people. So 30s, 40s, 20s. If you're some old crispy or 80 years old, you probably don't want to do that because it's got a loft upstairs. You go up this kind of like stair ladder to a king size bed, and it's got its own private garden. It's absolutely gorgeous. The coldest I've ever seen her is 11 Fahrenheit. Yeah, so that's not so bad. Anyway, check it out, Jesse. Go to booking.com. But you know, the best thing, if you ever want to book here, book directly through Wendy. Book directly through my wife at Magnolia Petal, SSI@gmail.com. Talk to Wendy. You'll save a bundle of money over booking.com. Booking.com takes a big chunk. So Magnolia Petal, SSI@gmail.com. That's what you want to go through if you ever decide. I have an 11-foot humus variety. Whoa, 11 foot. Geez, that's huge. 11 Fahrenheit. That's not too bad. The coldest I've ever seen was 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit at my last location. When I was a kid, the coldest temperature I've ever experienced was near 0 degrees Fahrenheit, so about -17.8 when I lived on Lulu Island, just south of Vancouver in late December 1968. I was 4.5 years old, and I'll never forget that freeze. I remember the snow when I was a kid. So late December 1968 was record-breaking on our southwest coast. And I remember we lived on a little farm on Lulu Island just south of Vancouver. And our neighbors made a skating rink in their backyard. And guess what? It stayed frozen all through January 69. We will stay there next time for sure. My mom's name. Oh, is your mom named Wendy too? Wow, cool. That's a good name. Southwest Ireland is flowering. Awesome. That sounds like an awesome palm tree. I love camerops. Well, yeah, check it out, Jesse. We have people from all over the world stay at our accommodation. You know, the coolest time was when some guy from people came from Hawaii, and we've had that twice now. People from Honolulu stay here, and this is a Hawaiian themed bed and breakfast because we do have lots of Hawaiians on our island, and we have a sign out front in front of the B&B carved into driftwood. I carved with a chainsaw. It looks pretty cool. It says Aloha Ikomo Mai. So it means, hello, come in. And he's standing there, and you could see the guy was a Hawaiian dude and his wife. And he looked at that and he says, you know where I'm from? I says, where are you from? He says, I'm from Honolulu. First time on Salt Spring Island. And they loved it here. So the people that stay here, they say they feel like they're in the tropics. There's so many palms and exotic plants around, right? Especially in the summertime. In the wintertime, yeah, it's dreary and wet, but we still do have people come here. But the garden looks the same in the wintertime too. It's always green, except when it has snow on it. When the snow melts, it's still green again. What's your email so I could show you my palms? BananaJoe@telus.net. And I'm on Facebook too. I am on Facebook. The oven returns tomorrow. No more rain. I want some rain, man. Send some rain up here. So if you're getting rid of your rain, send it up here. I don't know. I haven't looked at our forecast. I used to look at the forecast every day when I worked because I'd have to work in sometimes crappy weather. Now I really don't care because I work on the side. I do my own stuff. And if somebody wants me to work, and if it's going to be crappy, I'm not going to work in it. wait till the weather's nice. I was supposed to split wood last week, but it was just way too hot. She says, wait till it's cooler out because I don't feel like splitting wood in the frickin' heat. I'll wait till it cools down a bit. She had 10 trees cut down. I think you missed my other question. I'd pour the peroxide into both brown trees. The ones with the new growth or the only ones don't have the new growth. I pour the peroxide. No, you pour it down the ones that have lost its center spears. Those are the ones. And a lot of times you'll get wood bugs in there too, Jesse. So pour it down the ones where it's got, problems with the center spears where they pull out. And sometimes it helps. I'm not saying it helps all the time, but a lot of times it does help. 23 here next week. That's good. 23 is good. We have a lot of Arabs in my area. They're not Muslims, mostly Christians. We don't have any. I don't think we have any Arab. I don't know of any Arabs on Salt Spring Island. You know that? I don't. Like, it's very rare. I only saw it one time, several years ago. I saw these tourists in the park and they had these things over their heads, these ladies. I think they call it burqas. And it was like, that's the only time I've ever seen that here on Salt Spring Island. So no. We have a lot of American license plates cruising around here, I can tell you that. I was in the coffee shop this morning. Guy talks to me. Says, hey, boy, this sure is a busy coffee shop. And I knew they were tourists, right? I says, where are you from? He says, we're from Colorado. So, yeah, there's a lot of tourists here right now. So there's a lady speaking Syriac Walmart. Really? Yeah, no Walmarts here either. Although we do have one on the Big Island. But, yeah, I don't know if we have any of them here, Syrians. I'm back. My phone died. First name, last name. My phone can't die because I don't own one. We have Arabs here and Indians, Polish people. Oh, yeah, there's Polish people here. There's not too many. There's a couple East Indians here. One of them's a very good cook. Naomi, she was selling stuff in the market last year. I don't think she's in the market this year. That's what I would like to see here. A good East Indian restaurant. I love curry. I love East Indian food, man. I was like, oh, I just die for East Indian food. I don't know about you guys, but I love it. But I like all food. And yeah, no, I don't know if we have any Arabs here. We might. We have people from all walks of life here, put it that way. We do have people from all walks of life. We have lots of hippies here on the south end of the island. Lots of hippie dippies. And lots of rednecks. We have a lot of rednecks too. We have Omar Mart in Port Alberni. Yes. Oh, in Port Alberni. I go to the Staples in Port Alberni. There was a YouTuber I watched, and he was from the far west side of Vancouver. Oh, really? The northwest side. I wonder if he was in Cape Scott. I'd love to go there. I miss going to tropical parts because Oh, yeah, no, I can't. Well, you know what? You can travel. So coming back into Canada, just don't buy into the bull crap. All you need is your passport. You should be able to travel freely. If they're going to slap you, you're fine. That's not even going to stick. It's all unlawful what they're doing. Just travel anywhere you want freely. It's all bull crap nonsense that they're trying to pull on us. I'm never going to comply to the crap. I like Christian Arabs. They're mostly from Lebanon. Oh, we have actually a friend that's Lebanese. Bill and Esther, really nice lady. She moved here. Her and her husband moved here 6 years ago from Ontario. Matter of fact, they gave us their license plates from their vehicle, and we have them stuck on the. I have those ones stuck on the tiki hut. So Lebanese are super nice people. I think they have pretty good food there too. Lebanese food, right? But I would love to go there. Yeah, so one day I'm going to travel again. I just don't want to go right now. Just too messy at the airport. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. So I talked to a guy yesterday when I was at Beachside Coffee, and he said he's American. He lives on Salt Spring Island, but he's got a dual citizenship. And he came through the border driving. Once he gets to the border coming into Canada, because of the prime minister here, the dictator, they want to ask for your Vax Pass. You're supposed to have this, what is it called there? The Arrive Can app on your stupid phone, which he didn't have. So they told him to do this and that. And you know what he said to them? I respectfully decline. I respectfully decline. And he said that, and then he said to the customs guy, the Canadian guy, he said to him, are you detaining me? And they said, no. He says, am I free to go? And they said, and then he said, yeah, I guess. And so he left. Nothing happened. No fine or anything. Yeah, I got a little sunburn. I did get a little bit of sunburn on my shoulders here. You know what? It's from riding my motorbike, because I was dressed like this. It's so hot. I don't like to wear a jacket. I know it's bad, but when I ride my motorbike in the summertime, I dress like this. I just don't wear shorts. I'm not fully Irish. You're Russian. Yeah, my mom was Ukrainian and my dad was Italian, right? Yeah, Lebanese people are Arabs, but they're mostly like, yeah, our friend is full Arab, and she's really, actually, matter of fact, I think she's been on one of my live streams before. One time I was doing a live stream and she said, hi, her name's Esther. Super nice lady, really nice people, super cool people. And they are like-minded like us. They don't believe in all the crap. They didn't buy into the crap, right? So, man, it's warm out here. Hey, Wendy, what are we making for dinner? What the Sam Henry? Wendy said I had a burrito for dinner. That was like 5 hours ago. Oh my God. I'm such a what? I'm going to have to make dinner. What? I'm trying to think. I'm getting hungry. What's that? That was a good burrito. It's actually funny. Arabs are a very diverse group. There's Christians, Muslims, Jews, but the majority is Muslim. And then you have Lebanon, Syria. Yeah, Syria. Aren't those guys at war? They've been at war for like ever, haven't they? You were adopted from Moscow? No way. Cool. So you were actually born in Moscow. Wow. That's pretty awesome. So you're Russian. Pretty cool. Hey, you'd like borscht, pierogies, and cabbage rolls, because I think they eat kind of the same stuff as Ukrainians. Yeah, well, you know what? I don't mind the heat. I just don't like working in the heat. Like, you know what? This is okay. I like heat better than cold. And if I had to work in this, I wouldn't like it very much, but I'm not working in it, so it's okay. I'm sitting under a patio umbrella, which is actually broken. But, and there's a little bit of an ocean breeze, which feels nice. Syria's occupied Arabs, the natives are. Okay, cool. That's very interesting. I didn't even know that. Yeah, you hate the heat, first name, last name. A lot of people don't do well in the heat. You know, last year when we had that heat wave in the end of June, over 700 people died in British Columbia from the heat. But you know what it was? It was mostly old people. They're in apartment buildings. They don't have air conditioning, so they died of heat stroke. That's what it was. They succumbed to the heat. Not a lot of people around here have air conditionings on the coast. You really don't need it. They have heat pumps. Wendy and I keep our windows open at night, and we have the fan going so the ocean comes in. So, yeah, that's cool. So, Dara, you're Russian. That's pretty interesting. Cool. Wonder if you speak Russian or not. Syria is occupied. That's pretty cool. Well, that's pretty cool. You ended up in Ireland, eh? You know, there's some pretty cool places in Russia that grow palm trees. You know, down in Sochi on the Black Sea, there's lots of palm trees in southern Russia. Lots of palm trees. Yeah, that's pretty neat. So that's pretty neat that you were actually adopted and you're living in Ireland. Lebanon is basically Christian, Muslim, Arabs arguing over who's better. So that's what it's all about. Yeah, because Lebanon, I think, used to be at war too, but I don't think they are anymore. And I know I don't really watch the mainstream news. I can't be bothered because I think it's a lot of crap. But I know Russia and Ukraine are fighting right now, but I really don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's over with. I really don't know. what's going on with the two countries. Maybe the war is over with. Like I say, we don't even have a TV. I do not. Wendy and I got rid of our TV. The big screen TV broke. It sat outside, off to the side for a couple months, and then we took it to the garbage dump. Or no, we took it to the recycle depot. They took it for free. I'm just lucky. Yeah, no, Ireland's a good place. I don't mind heat. It's okay. God. I hate autocorrect. It drives me crazy. Wendy's got a iPhone that actually doesn't have any phone hooked up to it. She only uses it for computer, but you type something in there and you put the right thing and then it auto corrects it. But sometimes you forget to check the autocorrect and then you press, send or whatever. And then you look, it's like, oh my God, are you kidding? I did not say that. The auto corrected that for me. It's like, even when sometimes when you spell a palm name, it wants to auto correct it for you. And yeah, I don't mind heat. I don't like extreme heat. I don't mind this heat. I'm not working in it. Like I say, it's good. I would dread working in the heat. You know what it does? Heat makes me tired. But then again, I hate cold. I absolutely hate extreme cold. I wouldn't want to work in extreme cold. That's one thing. I never had a problem here. Working in the wintertime here, it's more wet. And actually, really, I didn't have to gear up that much. Most of the time when I'm working, it really didn't rain on me that much. It seemed to be raining after I finished work. So there's not a lot of days I actually had to wear rain clothes, but it's cool. It'd be like 7, 8 degrees Celsius when you're working, which is fine by me. I love 100 degrees. Yeah, that's too hot for me. I may check. Cool. Very cool. Okay, that's very interesting. So I'm guessing your parents are Irish. They got to be Irish. Irish. Wendy is Irish Scottish. That's what my wife is. Wendy is Irish Scottish. So she's been to Ireland, Scotland. She lived in the US. Wendy used to live in North Dakota. And she went to school there. Her dad worked down there. And her sister went to school there. I wish she would have kept her green card. I wish Wendy was a dual citizen. And then I could move to the States with her. We could move to Texas. Maybe move to Corpus Christi or something like that. Or Florida. Florida's a good state to live in too. Free state. I like the free states. Montana's a bit too cold for me. But I heard Montana's very nice. Wendy's been to a lot of different states. I haven't. I've been to Washington, Oregon, California, Florida, Texas, Alaska a few times. So I've been to, and Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii many times. Yeah, cool. Yeah, 100 degrees. You know what? It really depends if the 100 degrees has humidity or not. They say it's like cold. You get people from Alberta coming here and they say, man, winter feels so damp and cold here, but it'd be like 7 degrees Celsius, so 44, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. But because of the humidity in the wintertime, it makes it feel colder. It's like when you have humidity with heat, it makes it feel hotter. So they say a dry cold is easier to handle than a wet cold. Nobody in my family said my dad is American. Really? Where did I choose Florida? I love California. Yeah, I don't like I'm with you too. I want Tofino and Ucluelet bigger. Yeah, Port is one of my favorite places. I love it. So, but American had to come from somewhere from the beginning. Like, what is their nationality? Like, my dad, your dad's American, but is your mom, didn't you come from Czech Republic? So you're Czech originally, right? That's what your nationality is. Florida is a good state to be in too. Florida is a free state. I'd love to live in California. I know, exactly. I agree with you. They got the same crap. See, Washington, Oregon, and California are blue states. It's like the same crap that's going on here in China. We got this WEF guy running the show, the dictator, the prime minister. It's all the same garbage. I should come there to get married next year. What, is Salt Spring Island? Cool. That's a good place to get married. We had a wedding. We got people staying here going to a wedding right now. They're staying at one of our accommodations. I don't know where they're from, but they're here for a wedding. Really? No, I think our friend just got back from the States. It's fine. It's good. You can still go to the States. It's good. It's actually coming back into Canada where they try to freak you out at the border, but you don't comply to any of the nonsense. Do not comply to the nonsense. I'm half American, half Czech, Jewish. Okay, so but were you born in Czech? I was born in Vancouver. I'm Italian, Ukrainian. My dad's Italian, mom is Ukrainian. Wendy was born in Calgary. She's Irish, Scottish. I don't know what other nationality she is. Irish, Scottish, something like that, right? So, but my mom was born in Canada. My mom's mom was born in Canada. I mean, we're Canadian, right? My dad was born in Canada, but just barely. His mom and dad were born in Italy, in southern Italy. So I had a really good friend that was Czech, and he had an amazing palm garden here, and he passed away 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, really nice guy. Or you were born in the U.S. Oh, okay. I thought you were born in Czech Republic. Okay, so you're American. Okay, yeah. Well, I wish I had a dual citizenship right now because I would tell Justin Castro to cram it, and I would pack my bags. I couldn't go to Costa Rica because that fell through. They lost our marriage certificate. They brought in the mandates. 6 months ran out, and we're all gung ho. Like I sold my record collection. We downsized a lot. We sold a lot of stuff, planning to go to Costa Rica, and it didn't pan out. If I had a dual citizenship with the U.S., I'd either be in Florida or Texas. I think I like California, but I don't like the politics there. It's just as bad there as it is here. Although you don't see it here on Salt Spring Island. It's more so, I think, in the big cities. Here it's pretty normal. It's really no different than what it was pre-scamdemic, I call it. Everything looks the same except there's a few dummies walking around with face diapers on. Justin Toomer, yeah, Justin Castro. I'm a welder and sucks to work. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it would be brutal. My mom. Oh, your mom was born in Calgary too. Cool. So, how old is your mom? My wife is born in 1959, and you were born in the U.S. Zach was. My mom Wendy was born in Calgary. Yeah. My ex-wife was born in Edmonton. Yeah, Wendy was born in Calgary, and then she moved to the coast here when she was 9. I think 9 years old. She moved to the West Coast. There was no one here. Yeah, no, there's people here that wear them still. I just like I cannot believe it. 90 degrees, and I see people walking by with these things on their face. Like, give me a freaking break. And the prime minister, and I don't want to get into it too much. Wherever he goes traveling, he never wears one. But when he comes back here to Canada, he puts one on. It's all show. It's all theater. It's all crap. People buy into that nonsense. I don't. Try welding in heat and humidity. Oh yeah, no, it's hot, man. It's too hot. I'm not a good welder at all, but I have welded before. I've had to weld machines where I used to work, and I remember welding in the summertime. It's like, oh, because I had to weld in the sun. The big machine that broke was in the sun, and it was hot. How about the guys that lay tarmac down for the roads? The guys that do tarmacking. We're in Maui. We're on Maui, and we're at a traffic light near Kahalui, by the airport, and there's a road crew out there in the baking hot sun, and they're laying this hot tarmac. It's so hot, and they're just these big Hawaiian dudes. They're fully dressed. It's like they must love the heat, man. Well, they're Hawaiian. 1998. Oh, you're still a kid. My mom was 64. That's when I was born. Your mom's as old as me. Wow, your mom's young. I was born in March 29, 64. I remember being completely soaked in sweat after welding. Don't. Yeah, you know what? That's like when I was brush cutting on a slope the other day. I have never, and it takes a lot for me to sweat. I was soaked, man. I was flipping soaked. The sweat was going to my eyes. Salt was burning my eyes. I got it done as fast as I could. And I did not like that. It did suck, but I got her done. And I did it for Hal. I was born in 2001. Yeah, you're the same. Oh, yeah, no, my youngest son was born in 2000. Trevor turned 22 on July 13th. Wow. My daughter turned 28 in April, beginning of April. My oldest son's on his way to 32. Holy cow. Wendy's son's going to be 39 next birthday, and her daughter's going to be 36 in October, beginning of October. So that's how fast time flies. Dara, you're just a kid too. No, I think Zach's the youngest. Yeah, Zach's the youngest. You were born in 98, so my youngest son was 2000. Nah, you know what? 30's nothing. 30's young. 21. 21. That was like the legal age for everything. I remember turning 21, and these two girl friends of mine took me bar hopping. That was in March 29th, 1985. And we went bar hopping around where I used to live, went dancing and bar hopping. 21, because 21 is kind of like legal age for everything. You can gamble. Here, the drinking age is 19 in Canada. 19 years old, you can go into the bars. And I lived right by a border town. I lived by Washington State, south of Vancouver. So all the Americans would come across to the border town where I lived, because we had a pub right on the Canadian side of the U.S. border, and it'd be full American guys that were 19 years old partying and drinking. I remember that. I used to chat with them, right? And they loved it because they just come across the border and they would partay. Joe, what? I was like 7 when I started. No way. See, so time flies fast. 17. Wow, that's like 4 years ago. How long have you been on Salt Spring? 30 years. My mom and dad bought here in 1978 on Salt Spring Island, the summer of 78. They bought here 44 years ago. They bought 10 acres on Horo Road in 78. And then in 1980, they bought another 2.3 acres up on Rainbow Road. They had a place up on LePage too. So I've been here 3 decades on Salt Spring Island, but I've been coming here since I was 14 years old. I've been coming to Salt Spring for a long time. Before that, I was up in the Sunshine Coast. Wendy's mom and sister live on the Sunshine Coast, and that's where I just got back from a couple of weeks ago. So your parents, your dad was born there. I wonder if I know him. I wonder if I know your dad. All my kids were raised here too. They've been here their whole life. I wonder if I know your dad. He was born there, born here. Is he the same age as me? He probably knows a lot of the guys I know on Salt Spring Island. Probably knows a lot of the old timers. I know all the old timers here too. Cool. Fisher Price TM. How's it going, man? I didn't realize this live stream was going to go so long. I mean, the B&B guests, the ones below are at a wedding, so there's nobody using up my internet time. I think I started watching 2011 video. Yeah. So I started this channel in 2010, July 2010. And my other channel I started in 2008. So I've been YouTubing it for 14 years now. Long time. Long time. God, time flies. But YouTube's been around since, I think the very first video was 3 years before, or 2 years before that, 2006. Google it, or YouTube it. The very first YouTube video, I think, was the guy that actually started YouTube. God, he must be a billionaire. Do you imagine the guy that started YouTube? Just like, he thought of YouTube and it was a great thing. YouTube is a good thing. I lied. I was born spaceship and my family is aliens. Cool. Well, you know what? Nothing ever surprises me anymore on this planet. So if you were, that's awesome. Very awesome. I'll interview you sometime. That'd probably make a good video. This is my friend, the alien from the volunteer state. So, hey, why do they call it the volunteer state? Do a lot of people volunteer there? I'm just curious. I know in Missouri, it's the Show Me State. You know, there's the Sunshine State. There's the Golden State. There's the Potato State. They're all different states, right? My dad was Doug Hamilton Horn. He died. I was a bit. Oh no, that's sad. His dad's name was Lyle. Lyle Crescent. I wonder. Oh, so it's an old name. Hamilton. Horn. Wow. Climate change. What if the climate change will make it? Well, that'd be a good thing. I'm into it, Fisher Price. So that's sad. Sorry to hear about your dad. My dad died May 2016, so 6 years. He was 82. So he's pretty old. Climate change. Yeah, well, they say it is. I haven't noticed anything different. I mean, we get cold winters every so often. We get dumps of snow every so often. I don't see the lakes drying up. I don't know. Is it? They claim it is real. I don't know. What I do notice, there's a lot of native trees that have been dying over the last decade. Ones that I never used to see dying, like the western red cedars and hemlocks, western hemlocks, death everywhere. They're just dying left and right all of a sudden. So I don't know if it's climate change. Is it some sort of virus they have? People say it's the water tables dropping and they're dying from climate change. So maybe it is. Maybe it is climate change. I don't know. Because our people most... Oh, cool. Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. So that's what it is. Okay, I didn't know that. Cool. Yeah, I've got a lot of postcards and QSL cards from Tennessee, trust me. Lots of people over the years I've talked to on my two-way radio from Tennessee. So I got a lot of good, cool postcards from Tennessee. Yeah. The state map cards are the best. Well, one of these days, maybe I will travel to Tennessee. I'd like to see Graceland. Maybe Dollywood would be cool. I heard Dollywood's kind of a cool amusement park, but Graceland, I would like to see Graceland. I think that'd be a fun place. There's a big difference in Ireland this year and less rain. We're experiencing drought. Oh, yeah, drought's not good. If I get to the point where I have a mature coconut palm, there's a problem. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to see that in my lifetime. It's like the guy that says grows palm trees in Nova Scotia. I still say the guy's full of crap. The guy in Nova Scotia has never, ever proved to anybody that he has these palm trees growing all winter long in Nova Scotia. It's like, come on, man. He's got a YouTube channel, but there's no content on it. But yet he's on here calling me names and this and that. And he says, I'm not jealous. I mean, if you can grow palm trees in Nova Scotia, that's awesome. I talked to Phil, Foodie Phil. His brother lives in Clark's Harbor, Nova Scotia. I know a lot of people that live in Nova Scotia. The only palms that they know of growing in the Halifax are the ones that are boxed in. There are other people that grow them, but they box them in for the wintertime. This guy claims he grows these flawless palms through the blizzards and all the cold they get and all the wind in Nova Scotia, and they look better than any of the palms on the West Coast. Whatever. That's great. Make some videos of them. I want to see these palms. I hope you do grow them like that. I've yet to see them. So I say you're full of crap. There's well, it'd be cool if I could grow coconut palm, but you know what? Outside would be awesome. I've given up on coconut palms. I'm never going to grow another coconut palm again unless I actually did move to the tropics. And the only way I'll ever move to the tropics now, if Canada got so bad where it was unbearable to live here, we'd have to escape, right? But it's not that bad. I mean, I really don't watch mainstream media. I know the guy that's running the place is a complete dip, you know what, total fool. And apparently, the rumor is that they're going to be holding an election this fall, and hopefully we'll get this guy out of there. He is crazy. He is actually a dictator. He's a tyrant. He's like the guy in Holland. And he's basically a Muppet of Klaus Schwab, the WF. And when I mean a Muppet, Klaus Schwab has his hand so far up Justin Castro's hiney, he's controlling everything he does. That's what he is. He's a puppet or a Muppet of Klaus Schwab, the evil WEF villain. My bananas are growing faster. Yeah, they would too. You'll get killed in the streets there. Where's that? In the States? No. Oh, in Syria. Don't go to Memphis. Really? No. Are you serious? Memphis is bad? Really? I didn't think of Memphis as being bad. How many leaves? My bananas are terrible. Did you see the video I put of Hal's bananas and Scotty's? Bananas on Salt Spring look amazing. Mine are totally neglected. No water. I don't do anything with them. They're dinky, crappy little bananas that are fading out. Hal's got hundreds of bananas growing at his place, and they look absolutely amazing. They're huge. With bananas. Does he have bananas on him? No, Scotty's got bananas on his. So no, mine, I haven't even really looked at them for a while. Last time I looked at them, they looked like crap. So I'm not even going to bother with the bananas anymore. Matter of fact, like I said, I'm thinking on digging them out, what little I have, and planting some more palm trees in there. Get rid of the bananas and just plant more palm trees. The palm tree, I've been growing bananas since the 1980s. And don't get me wrong, I like bananas, but I'm kind of done with them. Everybody grows those things now. And they do look tropical, but in the wintertime, they look like crap here. Palm trees always look so nice. They're always so green. Bananas do look like crap here in the winter. How long does it? A leaf a week, bananas will probably open up here. About a leaf a week. Something like that. Maybe more. They're fast. They're very fast growers. I'm getting hungry. I am getting hungry. I have to think what I'm going to... Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some chips. Some taco chips and dip for lunch or for dinner. I'm hearing something below me. The sun deck here. There's something below me like an animal. I think the dog's roaming around down there. Anyway, I'm looking at the fig tree. The fig tree is growing. We have a lot of fig trees here on our property. Fig tree's grown like a freaking weed. It's just like, I can't wait till it's up to the deck and then we can actually pick the figs from the deck. And there is pups beside mine growing. Cool. Yeah, they grow fast. They like the heat. Bananas love humidity and heat, you know, and they grow faster too. I mean, really, you can't kill Musabajur. They're freaking weeds. They are weeds. And everybody grows them. Everybody grows Musabajur, right? They are actually a common plant. You can grow the things in freaking Ontario, you know. So no challenge to growing hardy bananas. They're root hardy to about minus 20 degrees Celsius. They look good. They give you a nice tropical look. Unfortunately, they don't produce any edible bananas on them. And they're stupid big. Yeah, so Hal's are getting pretty big. You guys can see what Hal's saloons look. Put it on here so you can see what the bananas look like at Hal's. A couple weeks ago, I was up at Scotty's just in behind us here. He's got a bunch of bananas at his place as well. And they look really good. They're pretty big banana plants with bananas on them too. Feels like the humidity's gone up. It really does. Oh, man. Maybe sweating a little bit. Do you think queen palms? Nah. Wouldn't be long term. No. It's Cyagrus romans ophiana, totally short term. The northernmost queen palms I've seen are in Brookings, Oregon. There are queen palms in Brookings, Oregon. There are king palms in Brookings, Oregon. And I don't know if they grow much farther north than that. Maybe short term, maybe Coos Bay, and then it's going to get cold enough to kill them. But Brookings, Oregon, is zone 9B, and you can grow queen palms there. Not a problem. You can grow everything in Brookings, Oregon. I think the coolest plant I saw in Brookings, Oregon when I was there, and I got lots of photos of plants I took many moons ago, was Tibuchina, princess flower. I remember seeing a big one beside someone's house. I go, holy crap, the princess flower, native to Brazil, which is a house plant here, growing outside in the North Pacific. It is the North Pacific. It's just far south of here. That's right. It's 11-hour drive south. I'm kind of burnt out. Yeah, I'm burnt out with them too. Everybody can grow them. Yeah, I don't know if queens would grow long term in Ireland. I don't. Maybe in Cork. Cork is zone 9. I think Cork is zone 9B. I know I've seen big date palms in Ireland. If you do see a queen palm, make a video of it. I know they could probably grow on the Scilly Isles and the Isle of Tresco off the coast of England because they do have big Washingtonias. There are big Washingtonia robusta growing even near London. Believe it or not, there are big Washingtonias growing in England. So I'm thinking if you can grow a washi, queen palm probably would do the same thing. Queen palms, they say, are hardy to the lower 20s. They ain't going to cut it here, man. They're definitely, date palms are short term here. You know, Phoenix canariensis are short term. They suffer from spear loss. Butia in my garden here suffers from spear loss in a bad winter. The longest I had a butia in our garden here is about 10 years, and it was the winter of 2008 that fried our bigger one, which is kind of a drag. It was a nice size butia. There's a hummingbird. Or is it a butterfly? Big trunk on it too. And it was growing in front of Wendy's gallery. So I ripped it out and I put the Fatsia in, and the Fatsia has been there for 14, going on 15 years. Uh, is it 10? Cork is 10B. They don't need a ton of heat, actually. Mine growing winter. Yeah, don't need as much heat. What does the sea breeze smell like? The sea breeze? Here, I love the smell of the ocean. I know Southern Ireland's pretty mild. I know there's a lot of date stuff that grow down in the southwest coast of Ireland. I don't exactly know the growing zone. I was thinking it was maybe 9B or something like that. It's kind of like Brookings, Oregon, similar to that. But if you could probably Google date palm pictures in southwest coast of Ireland. I know there's some big palms growing in near Belfast at Mount Stewart Gardens. There's huge Camarops palms growing in Northern Ireland, and they look really good. It's amazing Ireland. It is actually a pretty mild area, but the Scilly Isles, I think, might even be milder off the coast of England. 28 miles off the coast of Cornwall, you got the Tresco Abbey Gardens, and it's unbelievable the stuff that grows in the Tresco Abbey Gardens because they're right in the Gulf Stream, and I know the Gulf Stream goes by Scotland and Ireland too, right? So you have 6 Phoenix canariensis. Yeah, we have quite a few Phoenix, but only one in the ground. I grew them from seed. I'll tell you how many Phoenix we have. We have in one pot we have a cluster of around 7, then 1, 2, so we have 8, 9, 10, 9, 10. We have 11. We have 11 Phoenix palms here. The 10B Ireland is probably about. You're 10 years old. You're just a kid. You grow palms, and they have survived. Wow. Well, you know what? There's a hardier queen palm called the Silver Queen. And I've grown it. It's not hardy enough here. I can tell you that. There's one called Silver Queen. So Syagris Silver Queen. They claim it's hardy down to around 17 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. Look it up, and check out how cold hardy it is. I know there's some place in Alaska be. Yeah, the thing with Alaska, they don't get the humidity. So I'm going to tell you a story about Alaska, and I've told it many times before. J.D. Rowell of the Palm Society planted 2 Trachycarpus fortunei palms in Sitka, Alaska, which is an island in Alaska off the northern panhandle. And they survived for 20 years. They finally petered out. They did. They were actually featured in Hardy Palm International. I have the journal somewhere. There were palm trees growing on Sitka, Alaska, but they were Trachycarpus palms. I live in Port Alberni, and I can't. There are palms in Port Alberni. I have seen some there. I've actually seen a big dead one. Trachycarpus fortunei will grow there, but cold winter, you're going to have to protect it. So Port Alberni does get colder in the wintertime. There's no doubt about it. But it also gets hot in the summertime. It is a hot spot of Vancouver Island. Nice place. I like Port Alberni. So it's a neat town. 10 years old. You're just a kid. 10 years old. My God. Shit, our dog's just as old as you. Well, just about. Cowie's going to be 10 soon. 10. 10 years old. I was 10 in 1974. For God's sake, you weren't even thought of. I'm probably older than your mom and dad. Oh, I'm definitely older than your mom and dad. Wow, crazy. You're just a baby. I could probably have grandkids that are 10 years old. Wendy's granddaughter's 16. Wendy has a 16-year-old granddaughter. First name, you're 23, so you're a year older than my youngest son. He just turned 22 in July. 23. Wow, so we got a lot of young people that are into gardening here. Tree ferns thrive here. Yeah, same here. They do good. Our tree fern's doing really good. My name is Luke. That's a Black Sabbath song. My name is Lucifer. Please take my hand. What's that was on? I can't believe it. I sold all my Black Sabbath albums. Makes me mad. No, you're still a kid. I'm still a kid at heart too. Well, I act younger than what I should. Wendy always tells me to grow up. I hear Wendy. She's in the courtyard. The courtyard is so much better over there. It's just cooler. And where the other accommodation is, it's like, oh, there's always a little bit more of an ocean breeze there. It's about 200 feet away from where I'm sitting. And it's just a really cool spot up there. It's so much cooler. Wintertime, it's warmer. Summertime, it's cooler. It is closer to the ocean. You are still a kid. You are still, all you guys are young, man. It's like, but it's good to get into palm growing when you're young. I wish I would have got into it when I was 10 years old. I always knew about palm trees, but I didn't get into palm trees till, when did I start growing them? 21 years old. I'm 58, so a long time ago. And I guess I was 21 or 22. So it was a long time ago. This live stream has been going for just about 2 hours. I cannot believe it, man. I don't know how long I'm going to go here. I'm getting a good internet connection, which is awesome. The upper B&B guests have not checked in. The lower B&B guests are at a wedding. I was going to say funeral, same thing. Marriage isn't a bad thing. I got into palm 2 years ago. Cool. Well, it's a good hobby. It's a good addiction. I'm 22, germinated a bunch of palms last year. I love this. Well, you know what? At least you're still young. A bunch of palms last year. So you got into it young, Nick. That's good. My kids, yeah, they're not into gardening. They grew up with palm trees around them all since they were born. So it's just part of their life. So no, I think they appreciate it when they come here. My daughter, you know what? I'll try to do a live stream when my daughter's here. She's coming for her 10-year grad reunion on August 12th and 13th. So Sammy is going to be staying with us. So maybe I'll do a live stream and I'll see if Sammy will say hi to you guys. Sammy's awesome. My daughter is super cool. She lives over on the Big Island. And yeah, I can't believe it. Her grad reunion, 10 years. It seems like yesterday. And Trevor is 4 years. He graduated 4 years ago, 2018. Isn't that insane? That is absolutely insane. My oldest son is 13, going on 14 years. That's crazy. My 5-year-old brother likes when we get a foot of snow. Oh, well, you know what? When I was a kid, I liked it too. I've been into them since I was 6, my first trip to Disneyland. Yeah, I've been to Disneyland. Well, we got a 5-day pass. We stayed. The last time I took the kids to Disneyland was August 2008. We were there for a week. We had a 5-day or maybe 6-day Disneyland pass. So we went every day to Disneyland. And then the time I went before that, when I was 17, in December 1981, me and my buddy drove down to Disneyland. We actually drove down into Mexico, down into the Baja quite a ways. And we stayed down there for 2 weeks. So that was my first experience at Disneyland when I was 17 years old. He was 19, I was 17, and we did a road trip. It was kind of cool. We stayed in Hollywood and Rosemead. So you've been into palms a long time, Jesse. I've been into palms since 1970. It would have been 52 years now. You'd probably never be able to grow things like royal palms, cocothronyx. I certainly can't grow them here. Oh yeah, cool. So you're in Port Alberni too. Hey, you guys should meet up. First name, last name. There you go. Meet at the you have a Kentucky Fried Chicken there, and I think a Rotten Ronnie's. Oh, there's an A&W. We always go to the A&W. It's in the same parking lot as the Staples, because I always go to Staples there to buy something. Hey, palm tree dude. Hello. Aloha. Yeah, we always go to A&W in Port Alberni. en route to Tofino and Ucluelet. So you guys have a, how do they call that? Roy Allen and Frank Wright. That's what A&W stands for. Do you know that? Roy Allen and Frank Wright started A&W in the year 1919 in Sacramento, California. As a homecoming, they decided to serve root beer to the soldiers coming home from World War I. So that's how A&W started 103 years ago as a root beer stand. They made root beer and I don't know if they sold it or maybe it's 5 cents a mug to soldiers coming back, American soldiers coming back from World War I. Oh, look at Palmas. Duteous. First, I have not drive by the Palms while they're there. Oh, the Palms in yeah, I have seen some in Port Alberni. I'm trying to move to the US. I want to move to the US too. Bungpus. I want to move to the US too. I want to move to I'd like to live in Florida. I'd like to live in Hawaii, but Hawaii, you know what? They're kind of like too much like Canada. They bought into all the crap. Upload a video of sable miner in habitat last night. Oh, did you? Oh, cool. I love seeing them in habitat, especially when you go to like McCurtain County, Oklahoma, or you go to what's the other one? McCurtain County, and then there's Warren City, Arkansas. I've seen them in habitat there, which is really cool. Not in for real life, but in videos, right? And there's also some in habitat in Dallas, Texas, too, near Dallas, which is pretty awesome. You gotta love where there's native palm trees. And I've seen them in habitat in North Carolina and South Carolina. I've got seeds from all of those ones. Oh, cool. South Carolina. I just got a shirt sent to me 2 weeks ago from South Carolina. I got a friend that lives in Charleston. What's your favorite foods? Do you grow your own stuff to eat? Our garden's not that good. We have potatoes and garlic and kale. I'm not a good food gardener, so potatoes, garlic, kale. And we have goji berries. We have goji berries and raspberries. We have cherries, apples, and Guatemalan cherry, figs. I also saw random pimento there. Cool. South Carolina. Are you a boy or a girl? What are my favorite foods? I like Mexican food, Italian food, love East Indian food, Chinese food. You know what? I eat anything. I'm not a picky eater. Tons of pimentos they love there. Yeah, I bet, man. That's awesome. I love pimentos. I found a stand of sable miner on the side of the road. Oh, cool. I like sable miner. Sable miner are actually one of my favorite palms along with needle palms. If I couldn't grow trackies, I would just grow sable miners. And there's actually some nice trunking sable miner. They get good sized trunks on them. Tons of meadows. Yeah, that's cool. They like the heat and humidity of South Carolina. You're a boy. Fisher's a boy. SpongeBob. Oh, I remember that. That was a funny show. Mexican is my favorite. I love Mexican food. Oh, the Mexican food place here sold. El Loco Taco's gone. It's like called Cassette Dive Bar now. Don't know if there's much on Salt Spring. I always love them. Oh, yeah, no. No, there was a really good one, and now they're gone. So I don't think there is any Mexican food on Salt Spring anymore. We have a lot of restaurants here on Salt Spring. We just don't have any fast food. We are not allowed to have fast food restaurants on Salt Spring Island, so you will not see A&W, McDonald's, Dairy Queen, Wendy's, Carl's Jr., IHOP, all of that stuff. There's none of those on Salt Spring Island. It's all like mama, papa owned places, joints, right? But good. There is good food here. There's lots of restaurants in town. Treehouse is a good restaurant. Good fish and chips you can get here. I love fish and chips. Fish and chips is awesome. But it's something I don't eat all the time. I don't like a lot of deep fried stuff, but once in a blue moon is okay. Like the Nashville chicken burger. A humongous. We are at low humidness. We're not at low humidness right here. It's about 50. Well, you know, let me go look. I have to go look. Let me go see. Let me go see. It is 50% humidity. Ouch. 50% humidity and 30.6 degrees Celsius here right now. So it's warm. I am feeling the humidity a little bit. We've never had dingleberries here. How about cackleberries? You know what a cackleberry is? A cackleberry, Mexican. I always love Mexican food. Yeah, Mexican food in the States. I was eating it in California. And you know what? I like brisket. I love brisket. There's a really good brisket place over in Cowichan Bay. And my buddy Scotty and I went for a motorbike ride there a week or so ago. And we had, you know what I had? I don't know if you guys like mac and cheese, but really good mac and cheese. Not the KD dinner mac and cheese, but really good kind of gourmet mac and cheese with different cheeses on it. And they had big chunks of brisket mixed through the mac and cheese. So when I get this brisket with mac and cheese for $18 Canadian, which works out to about $5 American, I get this brisket and mac and cheese, and it's supersized. And the first thing I said to the girl running the Brazen Fork, I got videos of it. I says, man, this is like American sized here. This is like super. When I go to the States and eat a meal, it's like, it's a big meal. That's what I like about when you go to the States. You get way more bang for your buck. Here in Canada, it's really expensive and you get this crappy little meal. And I'm still hungry when I leave. So when I was at the States, sometimes I couldn't eat all the stuff on the plate. There was so much of it. 32%. Oh, you guys are way lower humidity than us. A dingleberry. Oh, a dingleberry. Fisher, you're inside of a thing. Our dog doesn't have to worry about that. She gets them groomed every 6 weeks. Anyway, the meal I had at the Brazen Fork, I couldn't finish it all. I could not finish all that brisket and macaroni. It's just like, so I want to take Wendy there. So the other day, Wendy and I are off island. We were in Victoria, went to Costco, and we stopped by the Brazen Fork. She hit a farm stand on the way. The Brazen Fork, the one day is closed. They're open 7 days a week. The one day I take Wendy there off island, they're closed. The guy's doing construction to the Brazen Fork because I wanted to get some more brisket. Brisket is awesome. They got this like Tennessee smoker out back, and they keep the brisket in there all night going on the rotisserie. I think I noticed much better service in the States. Why people are so bubbly and friendly compared to Canadians. Well, you know what? I don't have a problem. Americans, I got lots of American friends, and I don't believe everything you hear. Oh, Americans, it's like, you know what? Screw those guys, man. There's lots of pricks in Canada too. There's pricks wherever you go, and especially the people who have been bought into this crap. I don't even want to associate with those people anymore. They also never mess up my order in the States. Sorry. Yeah, no, I've never had a problem in service in the States. Typical, and I like potatoes too. I like French fries, but not all the time. I'm actually getting hungry now. I'm in the mood for some junk food. Isn't that terrible? I'm in the mood for do you guys like A&W? Do you guys like eating at A&W? My order is messed up all the time. Really? No, my order is pretty good. When I order something in the restaurant, it's not too bad. So, but I'm just saying in the States, I do get bigger meals. So the Brazen Fork for $18, massive meal. Couldn't eat it all. Awesome. I hate when I go to a restaurant and I pay $25 for dinner and everything's placed so nicely on the plate. It's all about show and no go. And I frickin' inhale it in 10 minutes and I'm still hungry. I think that's like an hors d'oeuvre. I like when I'm stuffed full. Like, so when I go to a restaurant in the States, I'm stuffed full. And you know what? I remember it was Popeyes. I think it might have been, was it Popeyes? And I went there for breakfast. And they said, what will you have? And I said, this is when I took the kids to Disneyland. And it was a pancake breakfast. I could not believe the pancakes. They were stacked up on the plate, so big pancakes. And then there was some other stuff on there too. I swear to God, I couldn't eat them all. It was awesome. That's a good meal. Yeah, well, you know what? There was another guy on here. I'm not picky either, Palm Tree Dude. I'll eat anything. You know what? There was another guy on here from Montreal, Benjamin, and he was 10 years old or 12. They have Dr. Pepper. Oh, Dr. Pepper. Is it rare? Wow. Yeah, I like Dr. Pepper. I drink soda. I'm not a soda drinker, but if I drink it, I like root beer. I don't mind Dr. Pepper. I love A&W root beer. So when we go to A&W, I'll often have a root beer shake, or I'll have a smaller glass in a frosty mug of the A&W root beer, because A&W root beer is really good. There's a dude here with is there really? Who is it? Oh, really? Do you think so? And I wonder who it is. Dr. Pepper's been around, I think, since the 1800s. You know that? I do actually have some old Dr. Pepper's bottles. I have a pretty good bottle collection. I sold some of them too because I thought we were moving to Costa Rica. It's like, it kind of pissed me off. I sold all my ginger beer bottles to some lady, and she got a deal too. They're from the 1800s. It's like, ugh. Oh well, that's life. It could be. It could be the same person that says, I'm not in Canada. They keep saying, I've read my comments in some of my videos. There's no way you're in Canada. There's no way palm trees grow where you are. You have to be in Hawaii. Come on. Does that look like Hawaii? Douglas fir trees. There's no Douglas fir trees in Hawaii. Okay. There's no Norfolk Island pines and Cook Island pines. There's no trees like that in Hawaii. Those are Douglas firs, unless maybe you lived on top of one of the mountains. Okay. I don't think Douglas firs do well in Hawaii. But Dr. Pepper, they do have Dr. Pepper at the soda machine when I go to A&W and Dunkin' on Vancouver Island. So they'll give us a frosty mug. You can fill it up with A&W root beer. You can go Sprite, Orange Crush, Coke, Dr. Pepper. You can get water, and then there's Diet Pepsi. And I don't like Diet Pepsi. And there's regular Pepsi. No, hell, it's Banana Hell. Is that right? Interesting. It could be. Trachycarpus, we have no shortage of those. Fisher Price, what to say? Coke and Pepsi. I actually like Pepsi better than Coke, but I don't even remember the last time I drank a Coke. It has been many, many years. I'm thinking maybe more than a decade, maybe 2 decades the last time I had a Coke. I just don't drink pop. I drink a lot of water. Yeah, I like water too, which I got to go get some so I don't dehydrate. So yeah, water is probably the best thing. I find the thing when you drink pop, there's so much sugar in it, it makes you thirstier. It's like this. I'm not a big beer drinker, but on a hot day, I don't mind this. In the wintertime, it's pretty tough for me to drink a beer. But this stuff kind of, it's like I said, a diuretic. It's like drinking coffee. It kind of sucks the moisture out of you. Now I'm thirsty. After drinking that, I'm actually quite thirsty. So I'm gonna have to get some water. Right? So, but if drink more water, they say you got to drink about 8 glasses a day or something. Wait here, I'm gonna go get my water. Right here, guys. I'll be back. And I'm gonna get some tip. Okay. Oh, Wendy, is this still cooking? I totally forgot about her garbanzo beans, man. Hey, her chickpeas are still on. Yeah, I totally forgot about them. There we go. That's what you got to drink right there. I drink a lot of. Drink one of those a day. You're good to go, right? That's what hydrates you. I don't like, yeah, I'm just not a pop guy. Everyone's drinking here. Yeah. But like I say, cold beer in a frosty mug. But seriously, I'm not a big drinker. If every liquor store on Salt Spring Island closed down forever, it really would not affect me in the least bit. So purified drinking water. You know what I'm going to do next time? There's a well down on the south end at one of our halls, way down on the south end of the island. First thing this morning, I drove down and I filled up 4 5-gallon water jugs, and it's $4. And they got a couple of hoses out there, and it comes from a deep well. It's beautiful, like spring water. I wish I was in Hawaii too, but not right now. Not right now. I don't want to be in Hawaii right now because I like Salt Spring in the summertime. I want to be in Hawaii when Wendy and I go. Wendy and I go to Hawaii for a month every year, but since the scamdemic, which was started in December, so our last time on Maui was December 2019. And now, so we're 3 years into this bull crap. So we have not been back to the Hawaiian Islands since. So I used to go to Hawaii in the summer with my ex-wife, but Wendy refuses to ever go to Hawaii in the summertime. Wendy will never go to Hawaii for less than 3 weeks, or no, a month. Sorry, a month, right? Wendy will never go to Hawaii for less than a month. I says, why don't we fly over there for a week? She says she will never do that. So Wendy's got enough air miles to go to Hawaii right now. So maybe, I don't know, maybe next year we'll go to Hawaii. Wishful thinking, right? I was just at the beach for a week. Oh, the beach is awesome. We got beaches all around us. There's a beautiful beach across the street from us. And it's rare that you ever see anybody on that beach. It's a white crush shell beach. So like I say, the water now, Far north of here is going to be it's very warm on the west side. It's super nice swimming on the west side of our island. Like, it's warm. The ocean is warm. Wendy's daughter's swimming right now. Never been to Vegas. My buddy Scotty just went there last week to see Joe Rogan. He flew down for the day. Flew down for the day to see Joe Rogan. Beach at the week is awesome, Palm Tree Dude. Good for you. That's a good place to be at the beach, man. You can't beat the beach, especially when there's palm trees on the beach. You know, 2.5 weeks ago, I was on a white sand beach up on Savory Island. I was on Savory Island in Desolation Sound on a white sand beach. The sand was warm. The water was getting warm, and now it's going to be even warmer. Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out then. And I haven't been watching a lot of videos lately just because I've been so busy doing other things. And even live streaming. I haven't been live streaming much either. I'm just so busy. Oh, there's tons of palms, and there's no native palms in Vegas. Did you know that? They've all been introduced. I found a 4-handed jellyfish nowhere as dangerous as the Australian ones. Wow. Whoa, I don't know that one. A 4-handed box. Oh, I know box jellyfish. Yeah, we have lots of jellyfish here too, and they're in the ocean. You see them, but there's some big ones like this, and they got these long tentacles, and I think they will sting you. I haven't been stung with them, and at a certain time of the year, those jellyfish wash up on the beach and they die. They're red. They're big. I got videos in there. They're big jellyfish. Fisher have lots of besticles and comsticles. I got stung every day by sea nettles. Oh, really? Sea nettles. I don't know what a sea nettle is. Is that like a sea urchin? Maybe a sea urchin. Now, this sun is getting into my eyes here. Whoa! There goes that. I got to fix that deck. There we go. This sun is getting lower on the horizon. I don't know. Oh, it's a jellyfish species. Okay. Well, there's no shortage of shellfish around us. So in our ocean, we have scallops, right? We have lots of scallops. And what else do we have here? Lots of scallops. We have, there's some pretty cool shells you can find on the beaches here. Some pretty cool things just on our beaches. The biggest ones we have are conchs or moon snails, but there's lots of swimming scallops in the ocean here on Salt Spring Island. So they actually have some pretty cool shells. And if you dive, you can get those things. This one I don't think is from our beach. But we do have big moon snails here. That's a pretty cool. We have a lot of shells. Lots of shells. I'll show you a moon snail. I'll show you what's on our beach here. Nevada has wild Washingtonian. Oh, they actually do? They actually do have wild ones, eh? So are they actually native there? I didn't think they actually had native palms in Nevada. That's interesting. I'm going to go get you a moon snail. I'll show you. These are on our beaches here. These are big. This is called a moon snail. And these are big, and they live in our ocean here too. So sometimes if you're lucky, we have lots of these, you can find them on the beach, right? And you know what? When you hold a shell up to your ear, it's so bizarre. They say you can hear the ocean. You really can. Okay, this is driving me crazy. I got to fix this. Oh, the sun is right in my eyes. Hang on, guys. I'm adjusting the umbrella. That is the worst. The sun is beating right in my face. I did not know only a tiny portion of the state, not like Arizona, there were. So there are actually native Washingtonia in Arizona too. I didn't even think there were native Washingtonia in Arizona. I know there's lots, but I did not think there was actually any in Nevada. That is super cool to know that. Right on. So Washingtonia flifera. Wow. I mean, there's lots of palms in St. George, Utah too, but they're not planted. They're not native. I better wrap up this live stream soon. I need to eat something. I really do. Well, now I'm kind of getting full up with water. So, they say this is purified drinking water, which is different than the well water I got today down on the south end of Salt Spring. It tastes actually better than this crap right here. This is okay, but the well water was actually better. I'm going to have to water some of the stuff on the deck here. It's starting to wilt. There's a slug. I came out here at 4 this morning to try to catch a slug that's eating that tobacco plant. It's stripping the leaves on. I still couldn't catch that slug. That is pretty interesting. Okay, so there's native palms. What's my favorite palm species in the world? I really love sable minor and needle palm. They have to be a toss up. I love Camarops too. There's a whole bunch of them I like, but my favorite palm and I love Bismarckia, Latania. Bismarckia would probably be one of the more tender species that I can't grow here. I love, and I'm a fan palm guy. I like fan palms more than feather palms. I really love sable minor. So I'm going to say sable minor might be the bigger ones, one of my favorite, right? So anyway, I think I should wrap this up soon. I've been flapping my gums for 2 hours and 20 minutes here. It's been a good live stream. You guys all joined in. There's a few people maybe missing. But you know what? Sable needle palm. I love big needle palms. When I see a big needle palm, when somebody posts a picture of a big needle palm, to me, that's just as good as any coconut palm. To me, I love Rhipidophyllum histics, and ours are actually growing pretty good. We have quite a few needle palms, and they're all very, very happy. And they're very, very hardy, which is nice about needle palms. I mean, when they get big, look at that clump of Trachycarpus behind me here. Needle palms naturally grow in a clump, so you don't have to put a whole bunch of them together. Although I did, but you can just have one, and when it gets big enough, it's going to look like that, right? And the fronds on them are very similar to Trachycarpus, but they're just not as big, right? And they are super cold hardy. So if you can get yourself a needle palm, which is easier to get a hold of in the States than it is Canada, not easy to get needle palms in Canada. That's the drawback, right? So I think if I lived in the States, I'd fill the yard up with needle palms. Say, well, when you end the stream, check out the new video. Okay, I will. Okay, I'm going to check it out. Palm tree dude. All right, I will. I better end it. So I'm going to go. I got to get some chip dip or something and sit over there with my gal and have some dip. All right, so you guys take her easy. I could leave the stream going too. I could just actually have it going right here. You can look at the palms, and I could probably come back after. And if you're not here, you're not here. And if you are, I'll put it up there. Look at the arbutus trees. See the ones way, way in the back there? Look at how big they are. There's a accommodation under there too, and then there's another one up there. So I can shoot it up into the palm trees like so, and you can see what is going on everywhere behind me. Right there. Joe says, Pungus, Bungus, Cora, Bungus. All right, so, well, maybe I will end it. You don't want to look at palm trees. You've seen the palms behind me. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining in the stream. I'm going to go. I got to grab something to eat. All right, so I'll join. Thanks for joining in. I don't know when I'll do my next live stream. Hopefully sooner than later. That's for sure. All right, have a good night. It is a long weekend here, by the way, too. So tomorrow, for people that work, they don't have to work, especially a government worker. It is a long weekend. It is BC Day long weekend. All right, so I'm retired, so it doesn't really matter to me anyway. See you later. Aloha, hang loose, shock a wave. Enjoy the heat wherever you may be. Thanks for joining in, everybody. I will see you next time, and plant a palm. You can't grow wrong, right? That's what I always say. Cheers to you.